guilty of crime.
I'm so glad to have y'all here. Happy almost Friday. Guys, I'm your host, Jay, with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Day 3, preliminary hearings in the David saga. David and Celeste in court today, day 3, preliminary hearing. And guys, there's not a shortage of information in sight. So I'm thinking, and we're going to talk about this towards the end, what I think this case is going to turn out to be about the trial. We gonna get to the trial, or is the defense wearing down and want to take a plea deal? Well, that's a good thing that I've been looking into that, because lots of legal analysts and lawyers think that the prosecution is wearing down the defense, and we're only in day 3 of preliminary hearings, guys. I can't wait to tell you. Thank you guys for being here. Come on in. If you remember to hit that like button on your way in, way out, if you could, and you're black in here and you want to get some green, get yourself a membership. Help us to the goal. Starflower, how you doing? Good to see you. 7 here, Great Britain, GB, Great Britain time. Denise is coming off strong with the $5 super sticker towards our goal. What's up, guys? I got 2 more books left to give away. I gave away a stack of them already, so we'll do that at the end. We'll be gifting memberships throughout, and I'm going to take you throughout the course of day 3. Guys, this is a spicy day. Let me thank Tiff for helping me be a second set of eyes. Thank you, Tiff. She got me started on what happened today. Chainsaw marks, blood evidence, and courtroom drama. Is a plea deal in sight? Prosecution, defense, what do y'all think? All right. I don't know if I see some of you guys here that were in chat, like down the rabbit hole and other chats I saw you at today. So if I say something and maybe I miss something, feel free to put that in chat and say, hey, Jay, that's not what they said. Or Jay, I saw this. Feel free, because that's what we're here for. Otherwise, I wouldn't do live streams, right? I would just film it and then be. Melissa, good to see you. My birthday is tomorrow, guys, but we're celebrating today. So July 25th, not tomorrow, July 25th is my birthday. I'm leaving out of town, so I won't be back until next week. So tonight we will be giving stuff away. Lady for Justice, how you doing? Thank you. Sunday, it says, Cool and Chris, good to see you here. I missed you yesterday, but yesterday was Wednesday. That's why you're here. Thursday, Friday. Thank you. What's up, guys? Good to see you, Sin City, sweetie. Renee's in the house. A lot of people are here. Oh my goodness. Vincent is back. What happened? You guys caught Vincent. Oh man. He got lucky. Vincent got lucky. That was funny though. I saw him get timed out and I was like, I didn't even get to play with him. He came in here. What? Childhood drama caused Jay to think she could read people's thoughts, which she can't. Guys, I'm a psychic. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. You know what? I'm just gonna ban this user because I think Vincent and Steve and all those guys, man, they're just jealous than a mofo. Jay Rabbit didn't do updates until 5. They were reading. No, Denise, though. I did. There was updates in between, my friend. If you missed that, then I'm going to bring it to you. Because courtroom drama is what the courtroom started out with today. And I saw Steve Fisher on Down the Rabbit Hole. That is part of the update today. 2 people got kicked out, guys. One of them was working for, allegedly, Annie Elise. So Annie Elise had a court reporter or somebody reporting to her on a live Google Doc. Crazy, right? You're not supposed to do that. So we're going to get into all of that today. Again, trigger warning, guys. Thank you, Channel 53, for the 6 gems. And Cool and Chris for the $5 happy birthday. Oh, I will. I'm already having a great day. And I went to work. I went and got gas for my golf carts. Got gas everywhere. And now I'm here. So, hey, I'm doing my thing. Good to see you guys. Come on in. Let's get to it. All right. I got the crystal ball, baby. I thought you guys knew. I thought you knew I was psychic. I can read all of your minds. But you know what was wrong? I don't have childhood trauma. The only trauma I might have is from growing up at a time when it wasn't okay to be gay. And that took a while, but we're here in 2026. So yeah, whatever. I got a crystal ball. Let's go. You guys want to hear the future? I'm going to give it to you. I love these people, but I didn't post it because you got to pay. You got to pay for that. All right, guys. So we're in day 3 preliminary hearing. Next is to go to trial. We want justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez, guys. And let me tell you, her parents have been there daily, and we're finally going to hear what they have to say. All right. Now, day 3, David Burke, his preliminary hearing. Guys, I love this. Focused on forensic evidence and their investigative procedures. The court continues to determine whether there's enough probable cause for him to stand trial for murder. And don't forget, murder and dismemberment, as long as charges that go along with, well, being a pedo, right? I love just saying that. Now, listen, today, key developments. We're going to talk about blood. LAPD criminalist testifies about the items in David's Tesla, 11 fresheners. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. After the victim's remains were found in the trunk, defense cross-examines the criminalist. 2 chainsaws, we know. A third that they didn't find. Tests showed no blood traces on that. But guys, there's plenty other evidence all over the place. And it's gruesome when you hear about a pool. The new criminalist testified about a pool and the tears in the pool that appeared to be that sharp object, but it went right down to the bone. The fragments that were recovered during the autopsy matched the parts of the victim's remains like a puzzle. All right, guys. So that blue stuff that we had got caught on with the it was a pool, and it got into her bone fragments, into areas that they shouldn't be. So today, the court theme is centered on forensic scrutiny and evidence collection and the integrity of it. The defense is challenging the investigative thoroughness, while prosecutors reinforce the physical evidence. All right. And that evidence links right back to David. So, prosecution, we talked about the forensic consistencies, property, vehicles, purchases, and all physical evidence that's tying David to Celeste's murder and ultimately, her demise, her murder, her dismemberment, and, well, he killed a witness for LAPD. She was a witness for the state turned victim. Now, the defense, guys, the defense is trying to make the prosecution look sloppy. They're trying to make the investigators look lazy. They're focused on semantics, procedural flaws. They're arguing that the investigators mishandled and ignored potential exculpatory evidence, like the unused chainsaws. All right. So this is just, I mean, out of this world that we're at this point right now, right? In this case right now, there's so much. All right. Nina Drew, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? And guys, I'm going to dig deeper into the drama portion, but I can't believe that made it to the news. So on the news when they're reporting about the drama, they don't quite understand who it was, who Steve Fisher is, and who Annie Elise and her person is. So we're going to get into all of it. We have all the inside info with your favorite people. Today I'm putting in Sloan. We're going to put in some, we got Sloan, we've got Trapmore Ross, Kadisha Lynn, a little bit of her, Brian Enton. We've got the civil lawyers for the Celeste Rivas family. Guys, so much. Court protects Holly Weird. I know. What's up, y'all? Good to see you. How you doing? Come on in. Everybody come in. If you're Steve, if you're Vincent, come in. You can be nice. Or you could just give me the views. Hit the like or the unlike button. All right? Mama Pearl's in the house. She's doing well. All right? Y'all did work. Okay, now listen. Let's pop this on real quick and check this out. Shout out to Flojo, always. Him and Down the Rabbit Hole are just awesome people. If everybody on YouTube was as awesome and just supportive and friendly and boosting one another, guys, we would have a really good platform here. So I hope that YouTube continues to get rid of the people that are just causing chaos and bring in the good folks, because we're ready. We're ready, all right? Reese Cup 61. What is that? Who's my Reese Cup 61? All right, guys. There's a lot of people in the black. Y'all are going to maybe get a gifted membership. It's Leo season, baby. All right. Inquisitive P. You're so cool. That's why I love you. Well, thank you. I'm wearing my red shirt today to match my background. And, well, I'm just chilling. I got a pack and all that stuff. The attorney for David is burning through the cash. He is, Nina Drew. That's a whole subject in itself. We might touch upon that. So we'll see. We'll see about how it takes, how much money it's going to take from him. And he's going to be depleting those funds that we don't want him to have anyway. Starflower says, I'm typing things in chat. Don't know if anyone's reading it. Waffling away. We're reading it. I already shouted out to you, Starflower. But I only got so many people at once, my friend. Starflower King, and also hopefully you get a membership, because I notice when you're in the green, the other people see you better. I don't know, but I don't ignore anybody. I don't care if you're black, green, yellow, purple, white, whatever. I'm still gonna talk to you. Jinx, love Tauruses too. Big Deb's a Taurus. Yes, Leo, baby. Don't waffle away, all right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Capricorn, y'all are serious. Capricorns are serious about life and about their money. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're going to be spending the next 2 hours approximately together. So buckle up, buckle in, grab your drink, get your Red Bull, relax. We're not going anywhere for a while. Let's go.
Against singer David, it continues today in a downtown LA courtroom. Here are some images from the previous days. Sketch artist Mona Edwards providing us these images. This is because cameras are not allowed. With that said, we do have Christina Gonzalez. She has been in the courtroom every single day, and she is sending notes to the newsroom, incredibly detailed notes of what's happening inside the courtroom between the prosecution and the defense and the witnesses called. Interestingly enough, this day 3 of the prelim hearing, which I should just outright in case you have not been following, 21-year-old singer David, whose official name is David Burke, he has pled not guilty to all the charges he's facing for the...
Of course he did. And I hope you guys liked my, did you guys like my, what do you call that? My thumbnail today? I thought it was cool. I thought it represented David so well. Evil as shit on the inside, little bit of red as he progresses to, well, a demon clown. Libras are air signs. Leos love Libras and Geminis, because you guys are air and I'm fire. And in order to continue the fire burning, you got to give it air. If you smother a fire and you don't give it oxygen, then it dies. So bring it on. Bring it on. Yeah, here's the demon clown in the house. All right. Finally grown up, drinking decaf. Nina Drew, you know my babies are Scorpios, right? They give me a run for my money, Nina Drew, and I imagine you would too. Oh, God, your daughter's a Leo. I feel sorry for you. All right, guys, happy birthday to me and everybody else out there. Let's get into it. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm not giving the attention. When I see the gems, I will pop them up. Thank you, Indy Isham, Lady for Justice, Channel 53, Cool and Chris, Nina Drew, throw away the key for David. You got that right. Indy Isham, the gems, and then Inquisitive P. Thank you guys. Again, I'm going to be gifting memberships during the show and after. So let's go. All right.
The murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That is the headline there. But in terms of what is actually happening inside the courtroom, interestingly, what happened first thing this morning was the judge called up a blogger to the front of the courtroom. She's one of the lottery winners each day. There are 10 seats open to the public if you get there earlier.
And I'm going to give you the inside scoop from that right after this, because they're not quite sure exactly what happened inside court. Oh, 28. My son's 26. Bring your daughter on. My son's handsome and single. Just saying. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing there? Aries, baby. Green apple, thank you. Pennywise, what's that? Thank you, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna be here for a while. So if I missed you in the beginning, don't worry. I'm going to, I'll come back around. You're 28. Well, yeah, I just turned 30. I'll be 30 on Saturday. Wink, wink. It's my it's my 30th birthday. The big 3-0, Jinx. Do you believe me? Yes, lottery tickets for the seats, and they straight up have the lottery tickets for the seats, and they have a big rule, a list of rules. All right, let's get to it.
Enough, you could go in there, and these 10 seats have primarily been filled by bloggers and social media influencers who are covering this trial online. She is one of them, this young lady or this woman who was called up. And she was reprimanded by the judge for live transmitting information during the hearing. That is not allowed. So when we say that Christina Gonzalez is sending notes back from the courtroom, we want to make it clear this is not happening live. This is when they are on break, and that is okay. But this particular blogger was apparently caught doing this live during the courtroom yesterday, during the hearing yesterday. And so she was told to leave today. She was not allowed in the courtroom
But notice they didn't mention the name. Others didn't know the name either. But when you're listening to this all day long, and I assure you, I've been listening to it. Tiff has probably been listening to it. We've been absorbing the crap out of this case. So you're welcome. All right. Thank you so much, Caroline. You're so awesome. Let's hit the goal for Jay's birthday. Yes, please. And then we'll feel really good about giving stuff out. Virgo's in the house, 62 and born again virgin. No. Say it ain't so. My son will be 40 on the 27th. Hey, I'm 10 years younger than him then, right, Lady for Justice? Wink, wink. Happy birthday to your son. Nina Drew, it's your birthday. Have a wonderful year. Oh, you got it. It's going to be great. And P West is in green now, and you made another live. Yes. All right, I'm going to tell you who it was now. I'm going to stop talking. Then I'll let this play, and I'll tell you all about what happened in court today.
as well. That was interesting. And then also, apparently, a private investigator who was there in the courtroom as well. He was admonished for trying to talk to the family of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And so he was asked to leave the courtroom as well. So this judge is very...
Notice they didn't say that it was Steve Fisher from SF Investigates, and they certainly did not mention Annie Elise, right? What's up, gang? She says, hey, your son's going to be 6. Yeah, but you're a lot younger than all of us.
Very, she's standing up to her rule of law in the courtroom. Okay, so with that said, the focus has been on blood evidence that was found in the Tesla, where Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was eventually found. Blood that was found inside his Hollywood Hills home, the Doheny address where David lives. Also, regarding today's developments, cell phone data. So they have an expert on the stand. He is, let me just make sure, he is a witness detective from the LAPD, and he handles cell phone records. his part of cellular analysis survey team, he in coordination with the FBI. So basically, what did David's phone show? And it did show, according to him, that David's phone was tracked to the Santa Barbara County location where he is accused of dumping some of her belongings.
You know, it makes me wonder why he took it this far when, I mean, everything this guy has done, or this demon clown has done, has revolved around Celeste. So there's no way that he got rid of her finger and all of her body parts. He had to have done something, because he is so sick that, I mean, when you follow him for all the way from 2023, he's drawing and dreaming and like making almost Celeste like an icon of his, like I guess a muse. But it's weird how he just wiped her out like that and then dismembered her when she was the inspiration for all of it. Even now you can look back and it's Celeste or someone that looks like Celeste. Yeah, he was obsessed with her. How the hell did that happen? And then he just mutilated her. It makes no sense, guys. I'm telling you, if someone's out there and you're watching and you got in some mess like this, don't kill the people. Take the slap on the wrist, say sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Wait until they're 18 and just walk with your head high. Say, my bad. There's 111 people in chat, which means 111. Say a prayer that Celeste gets the justice she deserves. Abuse of a corpse. That's what it's called. That's the charge.
After the murder, including her passport. So on some nights in late April of 2025, his cell phone was found there. Also at a charging station where he reportedly charged the Tesla. And then that phone made its way back to his Doheny address in Hollywood Hills. So that is the big take.
By the way, he's very dumb. He didn't charge the car very often. And he didn't charge the car very often because he had a gym inside of the garage, like a parkour where he does his flips. So he's so dumb that he didn't charge the car, but he charged it the night that he killed Celeste and drove to Santa Barbara. They're using that as evidence against him. Guys, is he really that dumb?
Away so far from the courtroom today. Again, this is day 3, and ultimately it's up to the judge to hear this evidence and decide if in fact this will go to trial. They were calling this a 3 to 5 day trial, or rather hearing. So this could go into tomorrow as well, and we will cover that for you.
Oh, it's going to go into tomorrow unless they start pulling the I want a plea deal card, because right now they're not winning here. Let me tell you that. But let me tell you about what happened today. All right. That's going to be, a lot of what happened today in between the little tidbits that I'm giving to you right now. And those are the things that I heard today, right? He didn't charge his car most of the time, but he did to go to Santa Barbara. I mean, that's how they it's like if you commit a murder or you commit a crime and you leave your phone at home, but the other 364 days of the year, you're attached to your phone making calls. Come on, guys. The absence of evidence is also evidence. All right. PPP, I think he's come forward. I think he would have killed again. I'm not sure that he did it before, but I do got to say he is definitely evil in my opinion. All right. Look, now, okay. I'm using Taylor Parise only because Lauren Conlon didn't break it down as well as this, but she broke it down real well. This is just like an overview. So Taylor Parise, according to Conlon, drama unfolded in the courtroom today, which frustrated Judge Charlene Olmedo. Entering into the Clara Shortage Fault courtroom Thursday morning with several issues she wanted to put on the record. So obviously that was what started today. So before testimony began, or before it resumed for the third day in David Anthony Burke's preliminary hearing, the judge announced that she received an email informing the court's media office that a content creator in another state was receiving live transmitted updates about what was occurring in court. The judge had previously ordered that live transmitting for this hearing was not allowed, and the order is stated before court begins every morning. I don't think they were doing it nefariously, but it happened. All right. And then the altercation also took place between Beth Silverman and Private Eye Steve Fisher, with Silverman accusing Fisher from SF Investigates of directing negative comments at her and stating that he should not be present in the court stating he should not be present in the courtroom as he was previously a witness in the grand jury. Finally, Silverman stated on record that Celeste's family attorney, Patrick Steinfeld, had spoken with Fisher on day one of the hearing, which she also stated was not allowed. All right. Steinfeld turned Fisher and stated that he approached the investigator and the conversation only lasted about 15 seconds. Now, mind you, Beth Silverman doesn't want Steve Fisher stepping on her toes, and that's what he's doing. I've seen him talk so much shit about what the prosecution and the defense has versus some inside information that he's had because he's investigating it personally. Now, Fisher ultimately left the courtroom without an objection. He was pissed, and he did hop on to the Down the Rabbit Hole panel for quite some time. I have that. SF Investigates spoke with the Interaction. This didn't come out until recently. He stated Beth Silverman isn't a fan of his and previously predicting that more of that will come out. He says she doesn't like the fact that I kept the story. I've tried to keep it in the media while nothing seemed to be happening, Fisher said. Now, forensic evidence was discussed once court began. Conlon provided a very good update or updates on her account, and I'm going to give those to you, as well as a timeline. There's a timeline that's now established that differs from that of what we've been seeing. And of course, let's just listen to what Steve Fisher has to say, and then we'll move on.
Speak a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, so Beth Silverman is not a fan of mine. More of that, I think, will come out as transcripts are released from grand juries and whatnot. Maybe the reason why she does not like the fact that I had kept the story. I've tried to keep it in the media while nothing seemed to be happening, and this is before grand juries were going on. And what happened in the hallway, which really kind of shocked me, was the family attorney for Celeste family. He came up and introduced himself. I didn't know who he was. I never met him, and he took me aside, and we had a few nights.
He talks more in length about this, but I wanted to show you right after he got kicked out. He's kind of butthurt. He plays it off a bit. Deb is a Taurus. I don't know where she is, where the Taurus is at. Does anyone know what the jewels are? Yeah, I do now. I looked at it, and you could buy like a package now, I guess. You can get like 300 or 500 jewels for like a few bucks and then give them out. So yeah, it's like pennies. It's like slot machines in Vegas, the penny machines. I thought Taurus. You're a Taurus? One thing about him, just get it out, Steve. I know. I can't speed it up. If you noticed, I was looking to speed it up and it won't let me. But I do like that he has a tattoo on his entire arm. I had not noticed that before.
Words, and he thanked me for advocating for Celeste, and Beth Silverman walked by and heard that, and actually grabbed him and told him she was not allowed to talk to me, that he was not allowed to talk to me, and pulled him away. And that's really bizarre.
Yes.
From a district attorney to say that an attorney for a family is not allowed to talk to me. It's really, like I don't understand why that happened or the legalities around that. But she pulled him away and said right in front of you too, but in front of a lot of people, you're not allowed to talk to him. You're not talk to him.
Steve's getting a little uncomfortable in his own skin, huh? When he first started covering this, he did not weigh that much. Just saying. It's like he's uncomfortable the whole time. Come on, Steve, get it out there. I do appreciate his reporting, but it's funny.
And
have you ever had an interaction with a prosecutor like that before?
Never. I mean, I've had a couple with this one, where she actually gave me a handwritten note at one point and told me how to appear in court. And I had to, in order to protect myself, I had to put that out on social media because it was like an underground hearing. She was trying to have me punished for speaking about the case. And, there's been some, detectives knocking on my home door at 6 a.m. in the morning. Detectives from her office, from the DA's.
Cooling, Chris. My girl, what do you mean? Steve Fisher got kicked out. Maybe you got stuck on maybe you don't have YouTube Premium. Steve Fisher is one of the people that not only is a private eye, but he streams on YouTube, as well as Miss Annie Elise. Annie Elise had one of her reporters in there in real time, and she actually put out a video today that she had to delete. But Denise, not only is he a witness, he's actually meddled in the prosecution a bit. So I can kind of see why they don't want him in there. I mean, I get it. Why does SF cover the truth for SD? I'm not sure. I don't know. All right, let's continue. We just got started.
Office, not LAPD. So it's very bizarre. I don't know why she's so worried about me, but she is.
All right, thank you.
That's funny. Yes, he's a witness. She kicked him out. I thought it was funny. He went on a panel for quite some time, and it's interesting. We'll get there though. So he's not covered. This is Bryant and Nancy Guthrie. We're not doing this right now. Let's drop you to Sloan. This is going to give you a good indication of what we're talking about today. I'm going to put Sloan on for a minute with an update. So again, guys, please, trigger warning, because this case is brutal. We are absolutely talking about not only a murder, but a dismemberment and an abusive corpse in detail. So please, trigger warning. Psychic Amelia's here. Hey, I needed you earlier. I needed to borrow your crystal ball. Why did Annie Elise have to delete her video? I don't know why she had to delete it. Well, actually, I do know. You cannot live stream in court whatsoever. And that includes a Google Doc that can, in real time, update us on the case. So she was updating you guys on the case from inside of the courthouse in real time, and that's not allowed. All right. There's nothing else. I mean, you don't have to watch anything. It doesn't say it anywhere. I only know because I was watching this all day. It doesn't even say Annie Elise's name. Most of the outlets don't say that. Ross hadn't. I know he did drop a video. We're not there yet. Well, he dropped a few updates, but no videos just yet. Tracy, member for 6 months. I love you bunches, and you have the best mods. I agree with that. I agree. Love you too. All right, I'm a true crimer, and I find Jules in. I agree, Nina Drew. I got to think of a way to get past that too, because I don't want to be rude to people. But if 100 people in chat are putting Jules in, I can't say everybody's name, or that's all you're gonna hear, or people's name all episode long. But I appreciate it. All right, so we'll work that out. I get it. All right, let's listen here. Again, this is a major trigger warning. He gets teary-eyed, all right? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. This guy is a good-looking man. I swear. He's a gay man. He's good looking.
He was the detective who's called to the tow yard the date that the vehicle was recovered, and he's gotten us so much information. This guy is the guy that knows everything. He's got all the surveillance and stuff. So pretty much on September 3rd, the car was sent to the impound lot. It was towed on the 3rd, and this is where we get into some of the graphic pictures. I'm sorry, guys. So one of the photos we saw, this was exhibit 15, I believe, and it was a picture of it was a picture like this, and this is like the black trash bag, and there's blue ropes here. It was a tied trash bag, and pretty much all you can see in the background was like kind of a red and maggots everywhere. You see maggots and bugs and larvae. Actually, what was
I mean, do you hear that? That's why I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. This was kind of in the morning-ish time, and I wasn't ready to hear the details of the actual pieces of skin down to the kneecap, guys. I mean, and that's why the thumbnail is what it is, an evil ass demon. He goes from a regular looking dude to just an evil guy, because nobody, and I mean nobody, could sit there and tear someone apart the way that he did and find pleasure in it and then sing about it and cry. And I mean, yes, we need justice for Celeste. This is not good. This is not good. He's going to talk about the plastic pieces inside of her leg and particularly her knee. It's so weird, a knee.
What's interesting is Josh, the detective, said that you could see like the life cycle has happened with these organisms. And then this is the most graphic picture of.
Now, you guys know when the life cycle happens, they're talking about decomp and how long the body's been there. That gives them a good idea of how long she's been there based on the cycles. All right. I agree with that. Fortnite and Overwatch with his humor was disturbing. He's always been this way. And he's a gooner. Yeah, his mask definitely fell off, guys. All right. Let's finish this. I got so much today.
Of course, these are drawings, but there's one of where you can see her body with her head and like her arms are gone. And it looks like she's face down, but it's so, she's so, what's it called? It's deteriorated that you couldn't really see, but her head was down here and it almost looked like she had a strap.
Oh, he lost it. Okay, hold on. This happened earlier.
Type of thing here. The color of her body, this is so hard to talk about. It was actually so upsetting too, because I'm sitting right by the parents and I'm hearing all this stuff and I'm seeing the parents react and it makes me want to cry. Like at one point the judge or like the attorney said like Celeste's full name is Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez, and her mom just started sobbing, and it is hard being here. It looks like, look, there's a bunch of attorneys and stuff over there. I don't know. They're all doing their own thing. Okay, so then that photo showed like kind of her head and her body. This one was another bag, and you can kind of see the limbs were put into there. The arms were put into there, and I guess the limbs were cut around the knees. So disturbing.
And this is why I think he hasn't done that before, because they said that the way that he ripped her body apart was like they were like if an animal had got a hold of her. No kind of precision, almost like he was just playing with multiple tools to figure out what the best method is to rip her to shreds and maybe preserve some of it. I can't understand that. Yeah, Sloan probably is. He's also, have you seen his social media lately? He's gotten yoked in his social media. He's walking around just yoked. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. All right. You know, they use enhancers for that. He's sweating in this suit right here.
There was another photograph. So then they wanted to show the fragments of plastic, and there were a bunch of fragments within the actual flesh, a lot of blue pieces, which I believe comes from the chainsaw that he had used. So there was like, they had a right kneecap that had a bunch of pictures that they had showed us. We also saw her hands, because one of her hands had 2 fingers removed, assuming because David had a tattoo of his name on one of those fingers. The one finger that you did see, you could see the tattoo that she had, which matched David's. Now,
man. All right. So from that, we're going to do this. He finished. He just kind of broke off. So what he just said right there, let me visualize it for you. Right here, I was looking through this and I'm like, oh, wow. Not only did they show these images and the fingers that are missing, that the fingers that were cut off and the fingers that are missing, but look at the drawing, guys. You can see the fingernails jagged, and you can see the hands got, I don't know if it's blood stains or it's definitely decomp. It looks like a zombie finger. It says Celeste and David, but look at what it says here. That's her actual real finger that he removed that said David on it. That could have easily been taken off. That's bullshit. But what did he do? Well, the evidence shown in court on the left is Celeste's tattoo of David's name. And on the right is David's finger in a booking photo taken after his arrest. It clearly shows the matching red Celeste tattoo. Now, the booking photo was introduced as evidence during the hearing. So that's what they're trying to show you here. Isn't that, I mean, what? I wonder if they're going to find that finger. And by the way, thank you, Foxy, for the Guilty of Crime membership. Guys, if you received that membership, please thank Foxy. We will be gifting more today. All right. So, oh my goodness, this is crazy. We should look at the timeline as well. All right, let's take a look at this for a moment. I'll go over it with you. He tried to remove from her finger. I know what he was doing, but I mean, this only somebody that is evil can do this. And, you know, evil is just like it's like a blanket term. narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopath. I don't know. I'm going to learn deeper about those, so I'm not just throwing that term around. But all of those, everything, anything and everything a twisted sicko is about right. Yes. Yes, Gabriel. All right, so look, Detective Rockler's cell phone and the Tesla analysis, guys, it's a bit different. And shout out to this person here, Gucci Mane Stowe, that put this up. They used Lauren Conlin's timeline, and they made a little graphic. So just quickly, let's transport back to 2025 of April at 1:01 p.m. So 11/11, guys, 11/11. Make a wish. April 23rd to the 24th of 2025. All right, just take a trip from 1 p.m. to 11 at night. David's phone and the Tesla both at the Doheny residence. All right, we're talking about April 23rd to the 4th. It's like midnight. Morning. No, 1:01 p.m. lunchtime to the evening. Then at 20 minutes later, devices began moving west, possibly via Sunset Boulevard. Then about 30 minutes later, David calls Celeste. It goes straight to voicemail. And at 1:28, the phone and the Tesla data place near I-54, just like Jen Soto, that damn highway, again and again, 154, San Marcos Pass. You guys know Santa Barbara County. You'll know what I'm talking about. Then at 4 to 7 a.m. in the morning, the devices remained north until he returned to Doheny by 7 a.m. So roughly 3 hours down there. And the time changed on the text messages. I heard them testifying that it was more than 20 minutes. You remember originally we heard that Celeste got there at, let's say, 10:10. And by 10:30, he's texting, "Where are you?" That opens up just a little bit more, guys. It opens it up to about an hour, right? Which means he probably didn't just walk straight in there, or right when she came in, he wasn't waiting by the door to stab her. They probably had some type of confrontation, and then he led her to where he needed her to bleed out, in my opinion, and he did so. Christina Coral, happy birthday. You guys shout out to Christina. Happy birthday month. We're celebrating Leo season. Yep, you got that, guys. And again, the absence of evidence is evidence. I can't be late for school or sports and not have my parents freak. What's up with Celeste's parents and Mackenzie Sharilla? I don't know. I can't. I wish I could give you an answer, but go hug your parents and thank them, all right? Please. Yeah, everybody say happy birthday to Christina. Thank you. Yeah, and make songs. Piece of garbage. All right, let me continue this. I just wanted to I'm trying to keep you up to date. Day 3. You guys will probably be on your own tomorrow, my friends. Go to Down the Rabbit or Flojo. All right, so let's move into May. All right, this is done. This is the night he allegedly killed Celeste. Didn't dismember her yet, but he went to Santa Barbara and threw her items away, passport, ID, etc. Now, May 8th through the 9th, 2025, 8 p.m., both devices were at the Doheny residence. Then at 1 a.m., his Tesla back near SR 154 corridor, 1 in the morning. This freak drives out there, and then 50 to 51 minutes later, his phone and his Tesla connect to the same area almost simultaneously. Then this freak rolls up at 5:15 in the morning when he returns his Tesla. All right, now let's fast forward to the end of May 2025, May 31st, 2025. And at 1:25 p.m., his phone starts at the Doheny address and he heads back towards 154. I didn't know about all of these trips until right now. So he heads back down there, and about 3 hours later, his phone and his Tesla then hit the same cell tower again within minutes of each other. Then again, between 6 p.m. and 8:20, both travel back to Doheny. What was he doing? And why didn't he get rid of more evidence? That guy is so dumb. All right, so 2 data sources, 1 story, preliminary hearing breakdown, cell phone and Tesla evidence. Detective William Rocker testimony on day 3 introduced some of the most technical and potentially damning evidence. Guys, and that's why I ask you in this episode, when will there be a plea deal coming? Just think about it. Now, 2 data sources and 1 story. All right, so the detective didn't just look at David's personal cell phone. He also pulled the data from the Tesla. And remember, guys, they got the USB. All right, the vehicle's own built-in cellular identifier used for things like software updates and navigation. Now, they cross-reference both of those, and investigators could show that the phone and the car were both moving together, not just the car moved on its own. All right, why that distinction matters? Well, if only the car had moved, then the defense could argue someone else was driving, right? But you can't argue that because we can see you in the car, David, on video. But when both the phone and the vehicle ping in the same cell towers within 1 minute of each other, it becomes much harder to argue that it was anyone else behind the wheel except David. All right, and a pattern, not a one-time trip. I didn't know that. I literally thought he only went down there 1 time. So this was not an isolated drive. Records show that the same route from Burke's Doheny Drive home to a remote stretch in 154 on State Route, San Marco Pass in Santa Barbara, repeated on 3 separate occasions over 5 weeks. Didn't know that. Let me know in chat if you guys knew that. April 23rd, May 8th, and May 31st, 2025. All 3 trips happen either late night or early in the morning, guys. All right. I mean, they have so much evidence. I'm going to look at the cell phone evidence right now. Guys, come on in. If you just rolled up, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you leave, hit the like button on your way out. I missed this one. Cool and Chris, thank you so much for the gifted membership. If you received that membership, thank Cool and Chris. And Nina Drew, absolute, we need justice for Celeste. Thank you. Jay, didn't they say she had rugs in her system? We have not seen the toxicology. Oh, we did see the toxicology. We did see the toxicology, right? Or no? I cover too many cases with toxicology. Yeah, the car records everything. Guys, you tell me in chat. I can't answer you, Maggie, right now, because for some reason, I can't remember did we hear the autopsy results, the toxicology? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. He really thought he was smart. Poor Celeste. I mean, if they have it, it's going to be in court. So let me get the evidence. You guys, if you answer, if you can, the voicemail call in the middle, guys, of his very first trip down there on April 24th at 12:04 a.m., his phone placed a call to Celeste. Guys, I didn't know about the 12:04. I only knew about 10:10 to 10:30, and that was it. And I didn't know about the 3 trips. I only knew about 1. So we're going to find out much more, I'm sure, during the trial. That went straight to voicemail, and the detective testified that this could mean her phone was off, in airplane mode, or out of service range. But it didn't draw a firm conclusion beyond that. It's details that raises questions, but it's not proof on its own. All right. What kind of evidence carries weight in court? Well, cell tower and vehicle telemetry data isn't based on memory or eyewitness accounts. It's automatically logged when 2 independent systems, phone and car, example, both show the same pattern. It becomes much harder to dismiss this as a coincidence, and it's likely that prosecutors are leaning on it heavily, and rightfully so. Now, what's the defense going to argue? Well, based on their strategy in the earlier testimony, they're going to focus on the gaps in the forensic testing, what they didn't test as well, what they forgot, what they didn't do. The defense will probably argue that this data shows presence in a general area rather than a specific one. So the defense will probably argue that, and not that that's proof of what happened, and not undeniable proof who was physically driving, right? But it's circumstantial enough. How y'all doing? There's so much today, right? And music. All right, what do we got going on? Did we yeah, I think there was, yeah, there it is. Traces of alcohol, benzos, and I thought there was possibly, now that I remember, some kind of methamphetamines of a sort. I'm not sure. But they also say that it could have given off from something else. It wasn't a huge amount. All right. She had trace amount. Yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted to say. She had trace amounts which can indicate regular usage or single usage weeks prior. There's also like toxins in your body that are released, and she was so badly decomposed. It could have been something else, but I'm not sure. I don't know that. Let's ask Foxy. I'd never heard anyone taking Xanax through a needle, but I have no idea. I am not the person to ask about that because I don't know. All right, guys. So now we're going to hop into Celeste's parents and what they have to say. Yes, thank you. Trace amounts of amphetamines. You see how I remember stuff? I forget it. And then if you give me like a couple seconds and a couple words, I'll be able to find it. So, but they did say the trace amphetamines could have been from something else. She bled slower. Sorry to say. I'm sure she did. Ativan comes in liquid. Well, I'm sure if someone's hard up enough, they can turn the Xanax into a liquid. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the medical profession, and I never will be. All right, let's take a look at this coming out of the courthouse. I always want to know what this guy has to say. This is Lauren Conlon again, LA Mag. Patrick Seinfeld, the attorney for Celeste's family, came outside and spoke, noting that David's mother is still searching for a new entertainment attorney for him. What the hell does that mean? According to testimony from the last witness who worked for Mogul Vision, who dropped him, the revelation comes as even David faces murder charges and the possibility of the death penalty if convicted. Guys, I think his parents are absolute monsters as well. I don't know why I get that feeling from him, but I think the things that they're doing that are super shady while this is going down. They're trying to collect $2 million in lawyer funds when David had $10 million that he made from 2022 to 2025, changing assets to their name, hiding stuff, and trying to release music. In my opinion, it's them. Let's hear what the civil lawyer for the Celeste Rivas family has to say. All right.
How are you? How are you doing? It was a rough day.
Is there a place to make a statement around here?
We would love for you to make a statement somewhere. I don't know if there's a podium. Yeah, can you give it to us first?
Well, today was an absolutely crushing day in the preliminary hearing. The evidence that was put
I'll make sure louder.
by the prosecutor was absolutely damning, showing the images of Celeste's decomposed body in the trunk of the Tesla, and the parents were sitting there, and it was just absolutely horrible. But they wanted to.
Yeah, the parents are holding up in court, and I know that they said something about giving it to God. All right, yeah, his parents, I think, are crap. I think that he's evil himself, but I think the parents absolutely encouraged what he was doing, and they, anything that he did, they were like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." I agree with that, Denise. They're just trying to capitalize off of Celeste's murder, and that sucks.
Show strength, and they're here for Celeste, but it was extremely bad, and what was disconcerting to me is that David Anthony Burke's mom is still pursuing an attorney for David's musical career. So apparently, the threat of a lifetime.
So, guys, they are doing that. I was like, what does that mean? Looking for an attorney while he's in prison. They're trying to get him somebody that will be able to represent him and making his music that he's drawing right now. And by the way, Forgotten Legend Shorts, welcome. I did not, but I could certainly pull that up. There's so many new things coming in today. I'm trying to catch them all. If you want to send me an email, if not, I can go. Tell me which platform Kadisha Lynn, where is it, on YouTube? Because I can just pull that up as well when we're done here. Let me know. I did not see that. As we're doing this, I'm literally scraping every platform to find new information for you. Yep, chainsaws and other types of stuff. What are zombies thinking? Hey, Amalu. Hopefully I said your name right. All right. Let's listen. Her parents say they're going to give it to God, because I think that's the only thing that they know how to do, and rightfully so. When you can't do things yourself or you feel overwhelmed, give it to God. That's the only thing you can trust in
jail or potential death penalty is not stopping him. He's pursuing
his music career
like nothing happened. And from an attorney, it just, from my perspective, I just thought that was disgusting. And so if you guys have any questions,
Sirs, can you tell us what the feeling was?
We saw Celeste mother react. What did they tell you after the fact, after seeing the film?
Well, this is the first time that they've heard this evidence in detail, and they're horrified. There was an image of Celeste's torso and her head in the trunk of the car.
And we heard that with Sloan describing it, guys. It was just like a pile of flesh and hair. Okay, her long brown curly hair was on top of everything with blood and bugs and cycles of the different bugs and maggots, and the parents had to see it. They had to listen to the explanation and the people testifying. Amalu, thank you. I'm glad I got it. Welcome in, my friend. Dirty Demons. Ask all the other musicians who sold themselves. I know, but you never see the musicians doing, getting the death penalty or life without the possibility of parole and still making music. All right. He won't get the money for music or a book if convicted. Well, they're doing it right now. They're putting out music, guys, right now. Thank you, Nina Drew. Please refrain from using words about medicine on YouTube for Jay. Thank you. I'm gonna leave that up for a minute. It's different when I say it, and I'll use it like one time out of 10. But when you guys are typing that in chat, then I can't do a chat replay. So yeah, if you could do that for YouTube, that'd be awesome. Instead of, they don't want to see those words, guys. So thank you. I appreciate that, Nina Drew, a lot. I don't like to say anything, but.
And the prosecutor had to ask what it was, because you could not tell it was a head. It was absolutely, it was deplorable. And so they're at a loss of words, and they're just trying to do the best they can.
As parents, sir, when they sit through that, when you don't know what you're looking at, the body's so badly decomposed and severed, what was it like sitting next to them? What were they thinking? What did they do?
Well, Mercedes just put her head down and started crying.
Yeah.
And she couldn't look up. And
like I said, guys, he's going to address the fact that the parents are suffering, and people, it's all out there. Everyone knows that people are pointing the finger at her parents. It's not a dirty little secret. All right. People are absolutely infuriated that they didn't protect her better. So I just want to put it out there. I don't want to bring any more anything to them. I don't want to bring any more heartache to them. So they're getting, what happens, a direct connection of what's going on now, and they have to live that. So yeah. Hey, Brendan, Monica, good to see you, my friend. Justice for Celeste is why we're here. Damn it. Just such a waste. All right, listen to this.
She was warned by the district attorney. Beth Silverman told her in advance, these images are coming. And and I told her that she didn't have to be in the courtroom for this part of the hearing, but she said, I want to be here to show support for Celeste. And she just put her head down and just started crying.
What are we expecting from the next few days then?
Well, today was more of a preliminary sort of a hearing. Tomorrow, we're really going to get into kind of the gruesome details of the alleged murder.
More gruesome
of
than this.
Celeste.
Do you expect your
yeah.
clients to be here and sit through that tomorrow?
Guys, that's going to be a big day. We're finally going to hear Mercedes is the mother. Let me show you real quick, guys. So there's Celeste Rivas Hernandez and her family. A lot of times you don't get to see these photos because they're blurred out, but they look the damn same as they did. Mercedes is the mom on the left, and her dad is on the right. I don't even know his name right now. If y'all do, fill me in. I know, Starflower. I know. I can't blame the parents, but his, yes, he had too much damn control. Hey, Rebecca. Good to see you, my friend. Guys, come on in and hit the like button. Gacy, I know, guys. I know, but Gacy got the death penalty, right? Didn't he get executed back in the day? Asshole face. All right, I like to answer your questions, especially when we only have 161 people in chat. I can give you more attention, guys. So come on in, hang out, put stuff in chat, ask away. I'll do my best. All right, guys, tomorrow's going to be even more graphic about how he did that, and possibly we're going to hear about how the prosecution can even say that David stabbed Celeste and watch her bleed out. Okay, how did they say that? Where are they getting that from? He just said they're going to talk about the actual physical murder and what transpired. So they got something, guys. They got something. I don't know what, but we're going to find out. Blasphemy. All right.
They'll be here. Whether or not they can sit through it remains to be something
Patrick, what
else.
about
I've told them that the problem is once you see an image, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And so I encouraged them to step out for a short period of time, and they decided no, they wanted to be here to show that they're supporting their daughter, they're supporting the district attorney's office, and they're very grateful.
Keep this in mind. That shouldn't have happened because Celeste was, in fact, a witness at this point. All right. She was a witness for the state against him and his pedo activities. They were already looking at David, and people already were onto the fact that he was entertaining minors, even online. He was entertaining minors and sexual activity. Yes, Lynn, abso-freaking-lutely somebody snitched. And I know a couple of somebodies that probably did snitch. All right. Asia and Neo. I'm sure they sang like a canary. Jay, you have the same name and birthday as my stepchild. Well, there you go. Knuckles to you. Soul. We're soul birthdays. Soul whatever. Tell your stepchild I say happy birthday. All right. You like the clown pick? I like it. He's an evil clown. All right. This guy's kind of scary looking too, but whatever. It is Holly weird, in fact.
For the investigation that the LAPD robbery homicide investigators, Byers and Farrell, did. It was just an exhaustive investigation over the last
What
10
about the
months.
transfer of assets? Did they have a reaction to that?
Yeah, they had a huge reaction
What was
to
it?
that. Well, they're disgusted.
Mhm.
It's just disgusting that they would purposely transfer assets to avoid a potential civil judgment. And
Right.
you can transfer assets for a reasonable cause. You can't transfer assets to avoid a potential civil judgment. And the last witness, he's the one that suggested they transfer the assets in order to avoid the civil judgment. And that's exactly what they did. And the amount of money that we heard about was just unbelievable. And
You see him right now? He is the civil lawyer, and that is why the parents took his assets and put them in their name, because they didn't want to be civilly sued, and they're going to be. Yeah, the Son of Sam law was David Berkowitz in New York, so I don't think that it would make it to California. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I have a lot for you guys today. I watched what everyone else is doing, and I'm bringing you pieces of information from the whole day today. So we have 154 in chat. Guys, do me a favor. It's free to hit that like button for me. Get us in the algorithm.
And I grossly underestimated David Anthony Burke's net worth. He has millions and millions of dollars. And so it's something that we're going to look at. I'm a wrongful death attorney. And so the family brought me in to look at the potential of bringing a wrongful death claim against David Anthony Burke. So I can't really comment.
Sue the shit out of them and then go for the parents. Go for the parents just based on the fact that there's an airline ticket that sent Celeste over to Texas and met David's parents. That is complete and utter bullshit. Right? They should be held accountable for that. They lied. They said they never met her. I have pictures on my computer that shows they're at the same place, same time. And Caleb says they met her multiple times. How do you just lie about stuff like that? Well, I hope he sues the shit out of them.
On any of the criminal evidence, that if you have questions about that, best go to Beth Silverman in the district attorney's office.
3 people with the family. It was a third person, Celeste's sister?
No, it was an interpreter and the victim's witness advocate from the district attorney's office.
So it was the parents mainly representing, it was the parents representing the family today? Or were there other
I represent the family.
Excuse me, were there other family members? Sorry, that was the wrong question.
No. The brother is, he's in the military, he's deployed. And the sister, it's just, everyone wants to be here, and they want to participate, but it's just so painful to sit through, and she just couldn't do it.
Do you think that they'll speak to us at any point? Do you think that they'll speak about Celeste and what?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They're an extremely private family, and they've just, it's a parent's worst nightmare, the absolute worst nightmare that you could think of, and they're not comfortable with anything. And
all right, so this guy's got dollar signs in his eyes, okay? And hey, whatever he's gonna do to help the family and sue David, get him where it hurts, David and the parents, because they don't seem to care about much else but money, guys. So David took Celeste and Esmeralda to Six Flags, and I'm sure there was other children on other outings, and he just got the fake IDs. We talked about the bodyguard that drove them around to clubs, getting into clubs with fake IDs when Celeste was only, 13, 14? Come on, man. His dad is not a lawyer. His dad works in a law firm, but he's not a lawyer. I remember looking into that in the very beginning. All right, that was a good interview, man. I didn't get to watch that earlier because, I was busy taking notes and working. So let's see. Oh, let me show you some Trout Moore stuff, and then we'll continue. I know, only in America can you commit a atrocious crime or crimes and profit from it. Hashtag Gypsy Rose. Ridiculous. Who else has been doing that?
From this trial, there was blood absolutely everywhere in David's garage, on the floor, on the black gym mats that were on the ground, in his Tesla, not just the front trunk, but also the back trunk. When they lifted up the kind of trunk liner in the back trunk, that was covered in blood too. The very furthest back rear seats in the car appeared to have, they call it luminol in the films, but
that's where the smoothie was, and we watched that yesterday, where he went to a car wash trying to have an alibi and say he spilled a smoothie. All right, a financial. Thank you. He's a financial consultant. He's definitely not a lawyer. Thank you. I appreciate that, Colin. Chris, remember that when you get mad at me about something. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you though. Some people love my show and then I don't know what I did wrong and they're just mad at me. So if you get mad at me, message me below before you get too mad. Right. I don't need any more enemies. All right. I don't need any more Steves here.
I think it's got a different name when it actually is used in real trials and real forensic work. But basically, it glowed up when they sprayed it with this substance on the back 3 rows of the seats. everywhere was just covered in blood. We saw the blue kiddie pool in his garage, covered in blood. They said it smelt fresh like laundry. Everything had been scrubbed down. They even found a black trash bag filled with wet wipes that were covered in brown substances that basically was likely blood. So that's what we've seen so far. It's very messed up. I'll keep you guys posted what else I hear. Okay.
Very messed up. I did not know that it was a bloody scene like that. So that may be where they're getting the bleeding out from. Let's take a look at the DNA bombshell evidence today. Celeste and a mystery man's DNA found in the home. Was somebody else involved that helped him? Again, guys, prosecution it's like they're playing cards poker right now. They can only show some of their hands and they're not going to show all of them. All right. Hey, everybody. Michelle, what you say about bombs? Yes, it lit up like a Christmas tree. And we saw the garage for TMZ put that up. Let me see. I think I have the picture just because I did not know that there was so much blood in there the way they said. So here it is. This is what came from TMZ. Look at that. I took the watermark off so you guys can see the freaking garage that lit up like a Christmas tree. All right. That there. So with the naked eye, we don't see anything. As a matter of fact, he had mats on the floor, mats and different things so they can do their backflips and all of that stuff. But that is where he allegedly killed her. Maybe not killed her. Maybe the dismemberment part. Yes, the blood everywhere. I know. My buddy Shadow Lion, what's up? Wait, what? What did I miss? What did you guys miss? She was in the truck. The car was in the garage. Fluid was leaking from the car to the cement cracks. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. No, nobody is faithful to David without the money coming. So why? But I feel like he bought multiple chainsaws because he just opened. Some of his friends would have stepped in to help. Did they? That's a good question. But you know that he went out of his way to buy a pink, I said pink chainsaw. He bought a pink chainsaw to match the pink Hello Kitty shoes. And those are not just like you can go into Home Depot and say, can I get a pink chainsaw? No. All right. Leo's in the house, baby. And Leo season started today, July 23rd. So welcome. All right. There's that garage that lit up like Christmas. And well, I can't wait to hear more. Now let's look at that. Mystery man DNA found in the home.
I'm hearing about multiple sources of DNA from the David case, and we are now finding out that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's DNA was recovered from David's Tesla. We have another criminalist on the stand who testified that they were able to make a full DNA profile of Celeste off of her toenail that they recovered before they buried her. And they also got a full DNA profile off David.
Guys, that's so sad to hear. They had to get a DNA profile from her toe. The DNA made me wait. Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Bombshell evidence, Celeste and mystery man DNA found in the home. All right. Man, Neo the snitch. He's absolutely, so is Asia. They're all about themselves and they're all about money and fame and power and whatever comes with that.
From swabbing his cheek. There was 2 bloodstains recovered from the Tesla that matched to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This criminalist testified that it was 1 centillion times more likely that this DNA matched Celeste Rivas Hernandez than any other female. They also tested a rubber mat from David's garage floor, and it was consistent with 15 genetic markers of Celeste's DNA, meaning it was only about a half a profile, but the criminalist testified that it was 20 quadruple times more likely to be Celeste than any other individual. The rowing machine right here also tested positive for Celeste's DNA. A stain on David's Tesla charger found in the garage also tested positive for Celeste's DNA. And one of the green tarps that was found in David's garage also tested positive for Celeste's DNA. This is where it gets crazy. That black trash bag, you remember that they said was filled with items, even wipes that had blood stains on them? They're saying that trash bag had 4 genetic profiles of DNA. 2 of those contributors are males, one of them being David Burke. So that means we have...
Damn, guys, I'm telling you, everybody was in the house, all right? There was a lot of people in and out of the house. The 2 closest people were Asia and Neo. And they were there when it smelled like shit. They were there when everything went down. They were there. There was multiple times that they weren't, now that we know about the 3 trips. But Sharko, happy birthday, Jay. Have a wonderful and fun birthday. Best wishes. I will, my friend. I'm ready to go. We're leaving tonight. Money talks, bullshit walks. I like that. All right, let's continue. Kadisha's getting heated in this one. Neo, Morgan. Yes, thank you. Neo, Morgan, Roth, Sheldon, and Asia. It's right there, my friend. Veronica, we're watching it right now. Kadisha Lynn and many others that were in the court talked about this. So there's so much evidence today. I spent all day chasing the reporters to find out what happened. So, well, Veronica, that's why you're here. So I could tell you about it and not just tell you, we're showing you what she's referring to. And then in court, what they talked about.
Have another DNA profile of another male who we don't know who it is. Then those wipes that were in this trash bag had a DNA match to Celeste as well. For these wipes, David was excluded as a contributor. Now, what's really crazy is David's defense attorney in cross-examination was trying to discredit this witness. She was questioning her background and qualifications. The criminalist testified in cross-examination that she could not determine how DNA got on a specific item. She testified that DNA can be present for weeks, months, and even years. David's lawyer was basically questioning her on how easy is it for DNA to be transferred and asking if she could conclude when Celeste's DNA would end up on this rowing machine, and this criminalist said she cannot tell that. Which is all pretty basic things that we know, but this is a defense attorney's job to try to throw something out there. But this right here for the prosecution is a huge deal because you have Celeste's DNA being matched in multiple different spots in this garage, in the Tesla.
Guys, right there just shows that she was so many times that she was at his house, in his bed, in whatever, right? How do you even get away from that? Like I said, the defense right now is just trying to poke holes in what the prosecution is saying because it's weak. Everything that they are saying is weak. You go to one piece of evidence and you say, okay, they messed up this piece of evidence, but here's 10 more pieces of evidence, and not circumstantial evidence, real hard evidence.
The trash bag from the wipes having 2 male DNA, and one of them is David. So who in the world is this other male's DNA? In my opinion, that makes me think that somebody else knew about what happened. This trash bag was full of wipes that were covered in blood. And not only did they have David's DNA, it also had this male contributor. And now I'm wondering if David is somehow going to try to make this an argument of this other man's DNA coming up in this. Like maybe he's going to try to push the blame onto this other person, whoever it is. Because remember, their argument from the beginning was that David was not responsible for the death of Celeste. And I'm going to be so for real, I don't think that's going to work, but I want to know who this other male is because in my opinion, that makes me think that somebody knew what was going on. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
All right, you don't have to let her know in the comments, but you should go sub up to her. Now, listen, if you just rolled in, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'm going to be gifting a membership here in a bit when I'm not reading. So come on in, hit the like button. You get a better chance if you interact with us. All right, let me give you the lowdown for today. All right, the big pieces of evidence that I'll tell you about. And thanks to Lauren Conlon again, Day 3, Morning Break, LA Mag, and Taylor. Those are the people that we read earlier. The Taylor Parise that talked about Lauren Conlon that told us that 2 people got kicked out of the courtroom. What a bizarre morning. Judge opened court, very frustrated, putting several issues on the record. Now, this is not what I read earlier. I gave you 1,000-foot view. Now I'm telling you the details. All right. So I did not say this. If you guys come in and say, you already said that. No, I didn't. Judge said that an email was sent to the media office at 3:51 p.m. yesterday regarding a shared Google Doc. Now, if you guys know about Google Docs, you know that you could be on it and one of your staff can be on it and you guys can in real time write notes so that she could be in court and then Annie Elise can update us about breaking news. That's not allowed, guys. So they weren't very I don't think they were trying to do it nefariously because they told everybody. But it was a live transmission from the courtroom to Annie Elise. It doesn't say that here, but that's who it is. Now, and no shade. She called it shocking that the order was allegedly violating, reiterating that the media are prohibited from live streaming from inside the courtroom. The judge also reread court's media order into the record and referenced previous calling out for the attorney for Rivas family over concerns. Calling out the attorney. Oh, that was Steve Fisher. Prosecutor Beth Silverman, that's not a fan of Fisher, he told us that, then told the court on record that a woman seated in the last row of the gallery had approached her several times and made comments directed at her, negative comments. She doesn't like that. Of course not. Silverman then turned around and looked at Private Eye Steve Fisher, saying he was a grand jury witness and he should not be present in the courtroom. Also claimed that he spoke with the Rivas family attorney, Patrick Steinfeld, in the lobby and that he shouldn't have. She then said that he could or he should be excluded, adding he'll post something because he posts something every day. So she's throwing shade at him. Obviously, he throws shade at her about lack of evidence or what have you. So she's giving it back. Now, Patrick, that's the civil attorney for the Rivas family, he stood up and said he was actually the one that had approached Steve Fisher in the lobby, and the conversation was only 15 seconds. It wasn't the other way around. So Steve Fisher was gracious to the judge and he left the courtroom. And guys, that's what you do. That's what you do. It's just like, yeah, we won't see any of that. When someone asks you to leave, you're filming somewhere like Nancy Guthrie's house or wherever, they ask you to leave, be a team player and leave. All right, guys, Jay didn't say that. So all right, let's continue. Now, okay, so listen, Steve Fisher didn't do it. He was good. He left. No problem. We just saw what he had to say at the beginning. After the on-record discussion, however, prosecutor Beth Silverman turned towards the family attorney, Patrick Steinfeld, and the two appeared to have a heated exchange. From where I was seated, and this is Lauren Conlon. From where she was seated, she overheard Silverman, the prosecutor, say, "Push me. You'll see how far that goes, and I'll pull your badge." Ooh, he's like, she's gonna kick him out of the courtroom. Now, the criminalist Lauren Wallace's cross-examination resumed with defense attorney Blair Burke. They focused on evidence that was collected or not tested, on evidence that was not collected. I'm sorry. Right. So this is, we're going to go back and forth with some of the things that happened in court today. All right. Leo here, Mo 31st. I'll be 65. Well, happy birthday month, dear Leo. All right. All right. So listen, Wallace testified the two apparently chainsaw colors are orange and black, not red and black, and the pink one. Chainsaw handles were not swabbed for touch DNA because presumptive testing for biological material was negative. More specifically, it was the phenolphthalein negative. Hopefully I said that right. You guys can see it. She also said some items were still collected despite negative testing, while others were not because the investigators determined that they lacked forensic value. What happened to the missing chainsaw? Good question. Burke questioned Wallace about a third electric handsaw found in a storage closet. Wallace testified it was not collected because the phenolphthalein testing was negative, and investigators said it had no forensic value. Investigators also found jugs of fake blood and trays in the garage. You guys remember David? Look on the cover with his bloody shirts. Wallace said that those observations were documented in her report. Burke then asked whether Wallace documented finding a large box containing a burn cage. Wallace said she did not. Wallace then testified she never observed the burn cage and it was not instructed to search the home's second floor where the boxed burn cage had been photographed. On redirect, Silverman pointed out that the investigators do not collect every item at a crime scene, only those deemed to have forensic value. And Wallace agreed. Wallace then explained that even collected evidence is not automatically tested. Detectives and forensic analysts determine which items are most likely to have useful DNA. And guys, obviously, if a chainsaw is what they think cut her up, well, we're going to get a chainsaw and swab it, right? They're not going to swab the lamps and the pillows and all that. Next witness, criminalist Lisa Lahendro from the LAPD trace analysis took the stand. She testified that she has 26 years with the LAPD, including 22 years in trace analysis, examining evidence such as hairs, fibers, gunshot residue, and other microscopic trace evidence. Her examination focused on the inflatable pool and the victim's clothing. We saw photos of the inflatable pool and the diagram identifying areas of damage. She then testified she recovered hairs, fibers, plant material, and possible foam-like flakes that had become loose from the pool and examined them under a stereo microscope. She also observed, now remember guys, this is key evidence here. We're talking about the forensic evidence here, right? This is solid, not circumstantial evidence. In Arizona, thank you. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. No, they're not. They don't have to show everything they have, and we don't want them to show everything they have because we don't want the defense to know the cards that the prosecution is holding. Okay? I didn't even know that they filed a suit before the trial. Did you guys realize that? I mean, you might have heard about it, but did you hear that that they filed a motion to keep David on house arrest while the trial was happening? That's crazy. They said because he's only 5 foot, whatever, 125 pounds when he's wet and wearing boots, that he could be hurt in custody. So they tried to get him on house arrest. That guy's a sick, you know what. That was denied, obviously, right? He didn't want handcuffs, doesn't want to look like a monster. But we see you, David. We see you. We see you progressing from 2023 until now. We see you, all right? You are a danger to the community, and you do need to be locked up forever. On that note, let's get back to the DNA evidence. She observed possible footwear impressions on the pool and attempted to recover them using an electrostatic dust printer lifter. But she testified the impressions were too difficult to collect. She then identified 4 damaged areas of the pool that were labeled A, B, C, and D. She described the damage as a combination of straight linear cuts and irregular scalloped cuts, which some cuts penetrating completely through the pool's material. He's such an idiot. Lahendro then compared blue plastic fragments that were submitted by the medical examiner's office to the damaged areas of the pool using a stereo microscope. Guys, that was a puzzle piece. They saw the photo demonstration that showed the fragments, and it physically fit into missing sections of the pool, similar to assembling a puzzle. Right in there, baby. That fit right in there. Just put it down. Additional photos showed that roughly a dozen smaller blue fragments shared the same characteristics as the pool material. Lahendro then testified she could have originated from the pool, but she could not conclude that the exact physical match because proportions of the fragments were missing, probably stuck inside on her and everywhere. She then confirmed that the blue fragments were received from the medical examiner's office in a sealed evidence bag. A sealed plastic evidence envelope containing a small blue fragment and hairs was also displayed in court. Guys, yes, I'm going to read this. Lawyer up. Excellent work. Law enforcement didn't screw up the evidence collection, but they should have done better, right? Whatever. Right? In a murder investigation, you err on the side of collection first, and you can return to the property later. But I still think they did a fantastic job. I am not going to I am not going to fault them. This evidence is almost unreal, guys. This evidence is like a dream come true. All right, that's a dream come true when you see this evidence. This is not the evidence that you saw in the Scott Peterson case that was all circumstantial about him cheating. Did we watch this? Did we? No, we didn't yet.
They have matched the blue plastic fibers that were found inside Celeste's wounds where her limbs were cut off. That is a perfect match to the blue kiddie pool that was found in David's garage. It feels like it's over with at this point. They showed images of the blue plastic that were taken out of her body, and it was a perfect match. It was like two puzzle pieces coming together perfectly, and there's even like a pattern on the kiddie pool that was apparently used as, you know, like a basin to allegedly use a chainsaw to sever her limbs, to dismember her. It's just so chilling. It was a perfect match. The two pieces lined up like a puzzle piece, the parts from her body, the parts from the pool that was found in his garage. It was a perfect match. I don't know how on earth they're going to beat this. Right now, the DA is still questioning basically somebody who's a criminalist. I don't know what David's defense are going to say to this. I don't think there is any possible defense to this. It's a perfect match, perfect puzzle piece. He's looking cooked. It is a match, people. They have.
I love it. I love this for him. Let's go over some other X things, and then we're going to get back into some analysis and talking about the case. All right. We have 176 in chat. We're an hour and 31 minutes in. And guys, I appreciate you so much. Do me a favor, hit the like button. We still have to get to our goal. Bob, you won the comment of the day. He's 5'5" in heels and 125 when he's wet and wearing those heels. All right. No, he's 5'5". Celeste was 5'2", I believe. I know it does. It flies by, man. Been a while here. Love it. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I can see the audience growing. I see you guys. I see new members coming in. You guys are enjoying it. So thank you. I do my best. I only give you guys my best. If I'm going to give half-ass, I don't even show up. So when I'm not here, it's because I don't got anything to give. All right, let's look at this real quick. Prosecutors have so much evidence, they're going to tear him up at trial. That's why I ask you guys, is a plea deal in sight? I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. I'm not just making this up. This is not just clickbait, guys. All right. He's 5 foot and a half inch. Yeah, he's a manlet, guys. He's a manlet. You could put him in your pocket, fold him up, and just walk around. Let's take a look at this. All right, so just some visuals, right? Details laid out by the prosecutor, showing the filings, purchase under an alias, right? I'm not going to read all this, but I just wanted to give you guys some images. And guys, does it make, am I the only one that you guys just, squirrel. Eeny, weeny, teeny, weeny, short. You guys know. All right. Does it make you mad? Does it make anybody mad that this guy had everything that any of us could have wanted and he just threw it all away? I mean, come on. When we dream at night of walking on gold pedals and driving Tesla X's and being able to dent them and not even care and rent a $20,000 a month mansion and fly anywhere you want. This mother trucker messed it up. And then he took Celeste's life and she doesn't get any of that. She doesn't even get to struggle. She doesn't get anything. So this guy just threw it all away. I just want to smash him for that. This is absolutely ridiculous. What are you doing here, guy? Like, seriously, you're going to use that to dismember someone? It's going to cut right through it, you idiot. And then he left a ton of evidence. So this was the picture. I don't think I showed that one yesterday. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, I did. It's just smaller there. All right, let's go back. Move. All right, so those pictures are on there. They've documented the the morgue bag and the two fingers. Remember, the people in court, including her parents, have to sit there and watch this. All right. So you're saying, gee, when you don't show up. So you're saying when you don't show up, you only have half of it. Yes, exactly, Colleen. Yes. Dream come true and he shitted on it all. Yes. Can you imagine? Amalou says his music was fake, in my opinion, and it wasn't even in his own. I agree. Hey, Pam Todd. Yep, I agree with that, Pam. 110%, baby. We're on the same page. 2 more to go. Come on, guys. $5 super chats, 2 to go. Coffee, Red Bull on me. Birthday 30. Yeah, you guys know I'm not really 30. I'm just kidding, but I'll take that. Thank you. I'll just tell everyone that. Teeny weeny. Don't want no. I wish I could play that. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Let's get into a little bit of discussion here. And I'm gonna gift a membership or 2. Here, check this out. I want to play this with Mark Garagos and Jesse. All right, let's play this real quick. We gotta have Jesse Weber.
Alleged murder, dismemberment, and sexual abuse of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Because today, prosecutors continue to focus on David's finances and lucrative career, even seemingly on who may have known about.
Now, this was yesterday. It came out yesterday in the evening, but it's talking about the motive and the relationship. Today, they did a ton of forensic, evidence presented, but the motive remains the same. Cool and Chris, thank you so much. I can't wait to get my cake. I actually am getting a cake this year, guys. Mrs. Gildy bought me a surprise cake, so I can't wait to know what she put on it. She's crazy. If I'm gonna be honest, it's probably just gonna be a cake with a rainbow throw up on it. So thank you, Mama Sage, for the $4.99. Love Guilty of Crime. Thank you. All right, let me dig around a little bit, see what I got, and then I'm going to gift a membership, and we'll come back.
Burke's alleged relationship with Celeste, including one of his money managers who admitted to at least hearing of Celeste's first name, the fact that she may have traveled with Burke to London. Now, remember, this is all important because prosecutors are not only trying to prove that Burke had an illegal sexual relationship with Celeste, a minor, but that he also had a financial motive to kill her in order to prevent her.
But I want everyone to know that is watching this case. I want you guys to realize that a lot of people did not hear of David before this. David is an absolute nothing. And I believe that he did take Celeste's life so that he can hide the fact that everyone needs to know he's a pedo. Many people didn't even know that he was being prosecuted for having sexual relations with an underage minor. They thought it was just a murder trial. But guys, it's so much worse. A pedo turned murderer. Choo choo. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. August 7th. Shout out. My brother's birthday is August 8th. You are a true Leo. My goodness. Yes, baby. Wood chipper. I agree. Vagina cake because you're gay. Yeah, everything's not about me being gay. Come on, man. There's 111 reasons why I am in this book. Y'all should get it. All right. I will. I got to remember to take a picture. I will. Listen, I was talking to a kid today. He's literally 17 years old. He's interning at our company, and he didn't know about David either, but he heard about him taking Celeste's life. But what he didn't know is that he's a pedo. He didn't know about the other little girls that he was gooning for, right? It's a horror. One year she did get me a horror cake. A few years back, she got me a Freddy Krueger cake for my birthday. That was dope. She was 11 when they met and 14 when she was killed, right? Purple rain, purple. I wish I could sing that. Hope you look amazing. Whatever your age is. Yeah, I'm 35. I'm going to be 35. Just kidding. I'm going to be 47, guys. I will be 47 on Saturday. Wah, wah, wah.
From revealing it. This is a special circumstance allegation that can carry the potential of the death penalty. I mean, you had testimony that revealed Burke earned a whopping $10 million between 2023 and 2025. So it gives you an idea of what he could have lost. And the court also heard testimony about the condition of the Tesla, where Celeste's body was reportedly found. You had one criminalist describing the odor from the vehicle and noting that 11 air fresheners had been placed inside. Suspicious? This was alongside testimony from another criminalist about evidence of blood that was apparently found at Burke's home. Now, look, Burke is innocent unless proven guilty. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges of first-degree murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child, unlawful mutilation of human remains. There is a lot to get into tonight. I have a great panel. Joining me now live from Los Angeles, senior national correspondent Brian Entin, who's been at the courthouse.
All right, let's just listen.
I mean, look, it was another tough day just in terms
Oh, I
of
gotta
how
turn it up.
gruesome and
Hold on.
horrific
Sorry.
the details are. You mentioned the deodorizers inside, the air fresheners inside.
Yeah, I want to hear what they have to say. And Mark Garagos. I love his perspective as a defense attorney that will do anything. Oh, did I just come out? Look at you making who's gay? I don't know. What are you guys talking about? I gotta say, as a straight man, I understand why girls like girls when we see the actions of some men. Well, Joe, I've never seen, I literally have never seen a straight man being homophobic against two women, like ever. Not in real life. All right. Not in real life. They think they have a chance. All right. They think they have a chance. That's all I gotta say. It doesn't matter who I've been with. A straight man will be like, that's cool that you're gay. Can I join? And they really think that they have a chance. Anyway, back to it. We got to break some stuff up because this really is a sad case. It's sad. It makes me mad. All right. Missy Joy, shout out to you. Happy birthday. You turned 35, 29-degree Cancer sun with 28-degree. Wow. Damn. You go. Happy birthday. Best of both worlds for sure. All right. Let's go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Let's listen to Brian. I got more for ya.
The Tesla, there were 11 of them. The stench was so bad from the decomposing body, Jesse, and there were maggots and there were insects. And one of those air fresheners, you couldn't even see it because it was literally, we saw the pictures, it was literally covered in maggots. So, and you think that, you know, Celeste's parents are sitting right there. The details were awful. They talked about the chemical test for the blood. There was the potential of blood pretty much being everywhere. The kiddie pool that we've heard so much about, that the prosecution alleges is where Celeste's body was dismembered. There was a gasp in the courtroom, Jesse. It's the first time that's happened. Literally, people in the courtroom gasped when they showed the photo of how the entire kiddie pool lit up when they put the light over it to show just how much blood there was, Jesse.
Yeah, and they're basically trying to say this is David's Tesla. This was his property, right? They were trying to show evidence of him driving the car. How on earth could he not have known what had happened and what was going on there? But Mark, I want to go to you, the law. Look, to me, the question is not so much does the prosecution have enough evidence to move this to trial, which is the purpose of this preliminary hearing. It's a low standard. It's a low bar for the prosecution. You just have to show probable cause. Seems to me likely the court will find that. You may disagree. But to me, we are seeing the evidence and the building blocks of the case should this go to trial. We're seeing how strong the prosecution may think their case is to possibly negotiate a deal with David should this move forward with the death penalty. Look at what we have. So in your opinion, how is the prosecution done so far?
All right, yeah. Jesse Weber, they do that quite a bit when they're in a when they're doing a clip. The volume's always low, but this is interesting because this is what they're doing to build the case, and it does bring into question by many analysts, legal analysts. Oh God, the lawyer I like the lawyer All right. Guys, I just gifted a membership. If you receive that membership, come on out and say hello. All right. Yeah, right. I don't know. What? Who are you guys talking about? I don't even know. Grim. I got pickles. I wish you guys could see the pickles. Bob says, what am I going to do with two girls? I only have one. That's great, Bob. That's great. You're great. All right. Breaking news. Let's stop everything. Yes, I like the lawyer We might get into some of that as well. But let me, I just gifted one membership. Let me know if you guys received it. I know, right? We have the best people in chat. You got to have a sense of humor here, right?
Far and ultimately trying to prove the charges and the special circumstances.
Well, I think right now, and I know this may not be a popular opinion, but what the prosecution has proved is that apparently after she died, she was dismembered and she was allowed to decompose in the car, which is gruesome. I agree with Brian, and disgusting. And, the deodorizers are graphic and all of that, and the kiddie pool. where the dismemberment took place is all very graphic. The problem is the prosecution still has not, at this point, after 2 days of a preliminary hearing, talked about how they are going to forensically show how she was killed. And I suppose we've got 2 more days to do proof.
That's coming tomorrow, guys. So if you're here now watching with me day 3, all right, that's coming tomorrow. That's what I was going to say. People are like, why are you always laughing? Or what are you smiling about? What's so funny? I don't know. I'm happy. Isn't gay mean happy? I thought that's what that meant. Isn't that a foundational word? The chat must all be Leos. I love you guys. We have the best people here. You only have one Wang, Bob. What happened to your other one? I still have both of mine and all 5 of my balls. Y'all are too funny, man. I love you guys today. They did. Pretty glitchy. Oh my God. Did you see the timeline? Did you see that time? I showed that at the beginning of this episode. Go back if you didn't see the timeline. It's, and after this, I'm going to talk about the day 3 overview, alleged call to Celeste, prosecutors, that and the clothing evidence and the cell phone maps. I'm going to give you a 1,000-foot view. Prosecutors introduced testimony about a chilling call that he made to Celeste, detailing the condition of her recovered clothing and presented cell phone records. So we're going to talk about that because there's a lot of different things that came out today in bits and pieces, no pun intended, all right?
But so far, that isn't what we've seen.
Mark, I hear you. I hear you on that. Makes me wonder, is the defense trying to build the argument, and Brian, I'll go to you in a second, but do you think that the defense is trying to build the argument, Mark? He purchased all these things, the chainsaws, the laundry bags, the body bag, after she died, so not before. You can't say that he planned it, right? Maybe it was a heat of the moment killing. Maybe it was self-defense. Do we really know what happened in the house? Are they also trying to say the chainsaws, there was negative testing for blood, although I believe one of the chainsaws might have been missing. Is that the kind of argument that you see them forming? That maybe we have to say he was part of the cover-up, he was part of the dismemberment, but in terms of this actually being murder, maybe not?
I think you've hit on it precisely. Take a look at the statement that I think was carefully crafted by the defense. I think that shows, and as you pointed out, not only the chainsaws had nothing on them, but in addition to that, the box that was found was unopened, and there has been precious little information or evidence so far that would show exactly how this was done or when it was done. We know precisely what happened afterwards. What we don't have is what happened before. And
now, Mark Garagos gets paid by the second as a lawyer. All right. So he talks slow. You know, lawyers get paid by the second. 60 seconds is up. We're going to round that off to 5 minutes at only a bargain for twice the price, $5,000 an hour. No problem. We'll split that in half. You can give me $2,500. No problem. All right. Finally, a live coverage where I'm not hitting my vape alone. Yes, pretty glitchy. Although everyone does not like me smoking, but hey, puff, puff, pass. I eventually want to quit, just not now. All right. Thank you. Shout out to you. Make sure that you subscribe. Yeah, no, I don't think he even thinks Scott Peterson's innocent. I think he just wants to be relevant again. Jay, you could have said little by little, bits and pieces, though. I didn't do that on purpose. I really didn't.
That is one of the kind of prosecutorial hurdles they have to get over, even for a low bar of a probable cause preliminary hearing.
Now, Brian, you tell me if there was any evidence that you heard about the actual killing yet. I know we might hear text messages, we might hear about the Uber, we might hear about how he allegedly lured her to the property. But so tell me about that. But also, there was something else that happened today that I wanted your opinion about. There was this heated moment, right, where the prosecutor pushed Burke's money manager, business associate, on what he knew about this relationship between David and Celeste, right? What happened there?
Yeah, and the money manager testimony has been very interesting because first of all, there was a lot of money moving around and a lot of money at stake. He had just signed a $19 million deal.
Damn, on top of the 10 million that he had already been paid. So do you see why freaking his parents are getting a lawyer to try to continue this thing? He got dropped from from any record label that he had and any people that were endorsing him. Guys, this guy just, oh my God, I can't stand this. It makes me so mad. He took Celeste Rivas Hernandez's life for no reason. You're gay and a smoker. Oh my God. Hey, kittens in crime. Good to see you. Oh, I know, Mo. I've always been told that, but you know what? Baby Guilty knows better. And my son's 26 years old and he doesn't do what I do. He does what I tell him to do. But I know, I hear you, Mo. You're like the 10th person this week that's told me that. His father was in a law firm. That family ain't stupid. Yeah, but they're all freaking evil. All they care about is money. Yes. You're trying to stop the nicotine. I'm trying to, Purple Rain. I'm trying. I'm getting there. I'm just not in the right mindset yet. Don't yell at me.
So there was a lot of money at stake. The money manager still works for the family right now and is getting paid and is still somewhat in charge of the money. But denied knowing much about Celeste, despite the fact that David allegedly bought the plane ticket to London, bought the plane ticket to Texas, and claimed that the money manager claimed that he mostly dealt with David's mom, that David wasn't so much involved in the money himself. But you could tell the prosecution was trying to make the point that there was money at stake here. And if it came out that David was in this kind of a relationship with someone underage, everything could go away for him.
Yeah, Mark, what's your opinion about that? In the sense, is it trying to say, yeah, no one else knew that he was taken into London. He did it by himself. He kept this secret. But at the same time, is that true? Or are you seeing the kind of the rumblings of maybe there were other people that knew something and didn't act up? Maybe there were other people that helped in some way. Remember, he's also charged with a sex crime here. Where do you see this going in terms of what other people in his orbit knew or didn't know?
I hate to be the cynic here.
So he's still being charged with sex crimes, which a lot of people don't realize. All right. I am proud of you, Tiffany, and I quit smoking cigarettes for 16 years. I did not smoke cigarettes. I quit for a long time, and then COVID hit, and the vapes just taste so damn good. But I'm proud of you. All right. Kittens in crime, welcome. Changing from cigarettes to vape. Really, that's what happened. I changed from cigarettes to vape, but I stopped smoking for a really long time. I don't smoke cannabis or whatever. Yeah, look at you just redirecting stuff. Okay, all right. I. Let's go. We got more to cover, so let's get through this. Almost done.
But this, to me, is kind of a pretextual prosecutorial gambit or gamesmanship. What they're trying to do is prove a special circumstance. Yeah. Well, the special circumstance is the financial motive. The reason that I personally think that Beth is kind of going after the money manager,
Beth Silverman, the prosecutor,
Beth Silverman, is because he won't give her what she wants. And the reason she wants special circumstance with his resources, if there's no special circumstance, he's out on bail. If he's out on bail, it's harder to convict him. Part of this gamesmanship that's going on is you keep him in on a special circumstance. That means he can't get out on bail. That makes it tougher on him to defend the case. And that's unfortunately one of the things, or one of the gambits that prosecutors get into. This is not by any stretch of the imagination a financial crime or done for finances. I reject that. I think that's nonsense.
Well, I hear where they're going with it because look, Brian, you tell me what we can expect next from this preliminary hearing. Are we going to hear the text messages between Celeste and David potentially leading up to when she allegedly went to his place? Because if that's the key and she says, I'm going to tell everybody about you.
That, and they're going to detail what happened. I could see you now, Tiff. Thank you, Inquisitive P. Gabby. Yeah, I can see you guys see Tiff. Tiff's here now. It's not the Wild West, right? All right. We're going to talk about that now. David's phone and the Tesla pinging. Tomorrow they're going to talk about the actual murder and how they believe it happened. So although I don't know that it was such a motive in his mind necessarily about the money. They just want to have a solid motive, and a money motive is a very good one. $19 million contract that he had signed going forward, and he had made $10 million all the way from 2003 to 2025. They also gave him a $3 million sign-on bonus when he was going on tour, so he can use that for his freaking lawyers.
What we've been up to, and then he allegedly kills her the next day, I'd imagine that's going to be key. So you tell me what we're looking out for in the next few days of this preliminary hearing.
Yeah, we're looking out for the text messages. What I think may be even more important, though, is going to be the medical examiner. And it seems he is going to be testifying, and that may happen tomorrow, because think about all the questions that Mark was asking about and how she died, and even how they were able to determine it when there was, when we saw the pictures, there was, you couldn't tell it was a person. And I think that his testimony is going to be important, and I'm interested to see the way the defense questions him, and I think that may happen tomorrow.
Yeah, look, remember what the defense said at the very beginning, right? At the very beginning of his arrest, they said, our client didn't commit this murder. Our client is not the cause of Celeste's death. However, if they match up the timing, they said that her phone, she never made any contact anymore after allegedly going to his house. You can see how the prosecution makes this argument. Mark, we'll have to have this conversation another day. You're always welcome back. I could do it.
You could talk really slow so that we can pay you $5,000 an hour. All right, let's get back to what's happening here. And David, preliminary hearing, day 3, alleged call to Celeste, clothing evidence, and cell phone maps. All right, prosecutors introduced that today in the testimony. I want to know about the call to Celeste and the records. I want to see all that. I want to know about the recovered clothing. I want to see pictures. I wish I could be in the court, and the tracks, the movements on the cell phone we talked about. Okay, so we entered in the third day on Thursday as prosecutors continued laying out the alleged methodical timeline. That was a big thing today. The timeline was huge today, leading up to the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Over the first 2 days, the judge heard testimony about search warrants, digital evidence, Amazon purchases, forensic, and finances. Guys, that's a lot. Now, on Thursday, prosecutors resumed calling witnesses as they seek to establish probable cause. And now we know they want probable cause with aggravating factors, so he doesn't get out. For probable cause for the embattled former gamer and singer to stand on trial, including first-degree lewd acts upon a child under 14 and unlawful mutilation of human remains. All right. It had a shaky start. I'm not going to get back into that. We know judge kicked 2 people out. Don't do that. Come back again tomorrow. All right. Now let's listen to this. It just came out a few minutes ago, and we're piecing it together, guys. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull this off today because there was a late start in court due to them throwing people out. All right. Back to what you guys call Jen Soto 2.0.
Was pinging exactly where Celeste's passport ID was found. And I called this out yesterday, and now they're putting together David's phone records with the Tesla records when it comes to these 3 trips that he took to Santa Barbara County. This officer started out by testifying that David took 3 trips in total to Santa Barbara County. He went on April 23rd, the day they're alleging that Celeste was unalived, May 8th, and then May 31st. On April 23rd, from 11:01 to 11:11, David and his Tesla records were both pinging as him being at his home in Los Angeles. At 11:31 through 11:35, David's Tesla starts moving. His phone records and his Tesla indicate that he was traveling westbound down Sunset Boulevard. About 30 minutes later, at 12:04 p.m., so that would now be April 24th because it's the middle of the night, he then placed a phone call to Celeste's phone. That call went directly to voicemail, and they believe that her phone was in airplane mode, or that it was completely off, or it was outside the network coverage. At 1:28 p.m., David's cell phone and his Tesla show him in Santa Barbara County exactly where Celeste's passport ID card was found. From 4:04 a.m. to 7:07 a.m., the phone stayed in that general location. But then at 7:07 a.m., it seems like his phone and Tesla records show that he started heading back towards his home. Now we're going to get into the second trip to Santa Barbara County on May 8th. At 8 p.m., his phone and Tesla were showing that he was at home in Los Angeles. But then a few hours later, at 1:01 a.m. on May 9th, it shows David's Tesla traveling down State Route 154 in Santa Barbara County. At 1:50 a.m. to 1:51 a.m., both his phone and Tesla were both pinging in the same exact location. The officer testified how you can see both of these devices are traveling to the same exact location at the same time. At 5:15 a.m., David's Tesla records show he arrives back at home. Now we're going to get into the third trip to Santa Barbara County on May 31st. And it seems like he took this last trip in the middle of the day because his phone starts moving from home towards Santa Barbara County at 1:25 p.m. At 4:47 to 4:48 p.m., his Tesla and phone both ping in the same location in Santa Barbara County. And then from 6 o'clock to 8:20 p.m., you can see from records that David appears to be traveling back from Santa Barbara County back to his home in Los Angeles. I want to talk about all three of these Santa Barbara trips with my timeline that I made because I think it's important.
Yeah, I read it earlier and I showed you a bit of one, but people weren't here. So let's hop to this and then we're going to take a look at what Steve Fisher is saying. All right. So come on in, guys. At the end of this, we are giving away one of my books. Hopefully I can gift another membership right now. And thank you guys. If you want to help support the channel further, super chat, super sticker, but really becoming a member is what I want. All right. I want y'all to be members and keep your membership. All right. I liked it. I love the timelines today.
Important to see right after that first trip to Santa Barbara County on the night they are alleging that Celeste passed away, how busy he was with his album rollout. The prosecutors claim that right when he got back from Santa Barbara County on April 23rd, the night that Celeste passed away, he did a radio show. Then they allege that David ordered the shovel from Home Depot. Then the same day, April 24th, he has an album release party that lasts until April 25th at 12:30 a.m. But then he starts traveling because of the album rollout. He travels from LA to New York City and he does Band Lab Pop Out Day 1. April 26th, he does Day 2. And then April 27th, he traveled from New York to Houston, Texas. By the way, this is the same time that he was crying performing that Afterlife. And as soon as he gets back from doing all of that traveling, prosecutors allege this is when David orders 2 chainsaws on May 1st. And on May 5th, David orders the body bag, the heavy-duty laundry bags, and the blue inflatable pool. Boom. Just a couple days after that, they allege on May 8th is when David went to Santa Barbara County again, so the second trip to Santa Barbara County. And then David was out of the country. He was performing in Korea, Japan, etc. between May 8th and May 31st. Example number 1, he was doing the Anime Awards. And then when he gets back from that is when they allege that
guys, you see a little bit better perspective in this timeline of what he was doing in between taking Celeste's life and dismembering her and going to his performances, doing his videos, being online, playing Fortnite, just like nothing had happened. After this, I got more information and it's going to be good. This just came out. I was looking for that. More evidence piles up in this hearing. So we're going to do that instead. Steve Fisher, I could pass on that. All right. I think he left the evidence of the bag with the unknown makes DNA. Maybe, but he left way too much. Caroline, you could go right on Amazon. I don't know, mods. Can you drop the link? It's literally right on Amazon. You can get free shipping and all that. It's if you go to Amazon and type in Reason 111, you'll find it. I'll drop a link if they don't. It's slow right now.
David goes back to Santa Barbara County again on May 31st. And yes, when you see it in this type of timeline, it does get pretty creepy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
All right. This is great. There's so much today. I'm like, I didn't think I'd have this much for y'all, but I do. All right. I was going to bring a clip of the blood stains that they found in the garage and they were talking about, but now I'm going to get on with it. And there's more. All right, there you go. Thank you. Kel dropped it. Devil, just evil. Yes. Don't let your battery die. Leo Moore. I'm not normally for the final rest punishment, but this one, full power of the law. Put him away for good either way and protect society. Leo, I agree. I'm glad that you agree. And I'm glad that a lot of people are seeing what David did as more than, oh yeah, he just took the life of some girl that wasn't important, but he's famous and I love him. No. All right. Thank you. Malaysia. Okay. So those are the dates. He went to Malaysia, May 13th, Philippines, May 16th, South Korea, and then Tokyo on May 22nd, 25th. Yes, he did. And he could leave just like that. And he'd probably take his own life if he gets a chance to. All right. Love the facts. Me too. And thank you, Georgia Gazette. I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope that you like the book as well. Maybe you'll win it today. I'm going to give one out at the end of the show. All right, let's move. Let's move. I got to wrap this up. We still got time, but I mean, I got things to do. I got to get ready for my birthday. We're heading out tonight, so we won't get fake. We don't get there till like freaking 1 or 2 in the morning sometimes. All right, here we go. New evidence, new episode. Not new evidence, but we're just gonna do what we did yesterday.
Blood, Celeste clothing, an inflatable pool, cell phone evidence, someone getting kicked out of the courtroom. This is everything that happened in the morning.
And I'll go past it if it's redundant. All right. This is the worst high-profile case California has faced, supposedly. Maybe in recent history, but I don't know. Huh. Let's continue.
Session of day 3 of David's preliminary hearing. We are bringing back our reporter who is in the courtroom, and we're going to discuss it all right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Yeah, so as you just heard, there was a lot to get into as we talk about day 3 of this preliminary hearing for singer David. Remember, he is accused of sexually abusing, murdering, and dismembering 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez back in 2025.
Now, mind you, he was grooming her from the time she was 11, guys. She was being assaulted already at the age of 10. We heard about the rumors with Gus that was already right. We saw the text message saying it hurt me when David and I had sex, and Gus did too. So this little girl was already being taken advantage of by the age of, who knows? We know 10, and then 11 she starts getting groomed by David. By 12 and 13, by 13 they definitely meet in person, and then he takes her life before she even turns 15. All right, thank you, Gustav. I think Manson trial, Rodney King and OJ. Yeah, I agree. Riots after, etc. What's up, Glitter Girl? How you doing? Catching up? Menendez brothers. Yeah, that one too. Rob Reiner is going to be a big one. All right, let's go.
Her dismembered, decomposed remains reportedly found in the front trunk of a Tesla out in LA back in September of last year, a Tesla that was reportedly registered to the singer. So the question becomes, for this preliminary hearing, does the prosecution have enough? Is the court going to determine that there is sufficient evidence to support these charges for this case to move forward again?
They captured this well. He's definitely trying to look innocent with shaving and wearing glasses. He's a monster, guys. Don't buy it.
And David, like I said, a lot to get into. Let's jump in.
Thank
okay,
you,
so let me bring in once again our eyes and our ears in that courtroom, Julia Deng, NBC LA reporter who has been fantastic.
Guys, I couldn't have planned this out better. So buckle up, buckle in. We're going to get through this one. This is exactly what we did yesterday, and perfect timing to where we slid in and this came out, and she has an even different perspective than Sloan and Ross Moore and all the people in there. So buckle up, buckle in. We're going to be watching this by 13. Yep. But you can't even say involved because he was taking advantage. Or game member. Damn. She was pregnant. Dang, I'll still. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's pregnant. We haven't seen any of that, any evidence yet. He didn't need an excuse. I believe he would have read. Yep. And Sandra, I'm sure he was already grooming other victims, young victims. All right. Let's continue. I like this yesterday. I love this recap.
We get her notes in every day. They are so thorough. They are so specific. They're so detailed. Thank you so much for coming on. So first of all, before we even get into the substance, before we even talk about the demeanor of David, this court day started with fireworks. The judge was not happy. What happened?
What happened?
Jesse, what a morning. We are in day 3 now of this preliminary hearing, and it started with a little bit of drama this morning.
That's why we don't say she was in a sexual relationship with David. We say she was sexually assaulted by David, because that's also why we're not going on with it when they say child PORN. That's not. It can't be, because that is consensual for grown adults to do when you can consent. So minors, RSA, period. CSAM material. I. Thank you guys for rolling in, checking this out. There was text allude. Yeah, there was, but we just don't have evidence yet to show any of that. Right? Something said no, but it wasn't. What they were trying to allude to is that at some point she was pregnant and David wanted her to have an abortion. We'll find out. All right, we will find out.
Actually, a reporter who was kicked out of the courtroom. The judge excluded her from today's proceedings because apparently there were live transmission rules that were violated. So this court has been very strict about preserving the integrity of this case. And we've talked about this before. Obviously, no cameras are allowed in that courtroom, no phones. You know, I'm not communicating with you guys, with really anybody in the outside world as all of this is going down. And it's part of this larger, I think,
Thank you, Joanne. Shout out to you. Good to see you. You did come in very late, but go back, stay here for the rest of the episode. Thank you. Purple Rain Facts. I appreciate that. Yes, Kalisa, Madeline was forever 13. Celeste was 14 when she was killed, and I don't know why they put 15. I think they put 15 on her like her headstone, but she never made it to 15. So yes, 1 year older. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. Butter my nugs. You got to make me say that. Thank you, Joanne. I can buy a 4-pack of Red Bulls now.
Aspects of the integrity of this court and the spirit of this court, because they want to ensure everything is done properly. Nobody here wants to risk any kind of mistrial, anything leaking that is not supposed to. So right now, during this court break, we can talk to you about what exactly went down.
And look, it's understandable. I mean, particularly when you're dealing with such a high-profile case like this and the sensitive nature of this case. You're talking about the alleged sexual abuse, murder, and dismemberment of a minor, of a 14-year-old girl. So let me ask you this too. A guy that we've had on the show multiple times, Steve Fisher, the private investigator who was apparently hired.
Her body was found after her 15th birthday, but when her life was taken, she was still 14. So, I mean, whatever, potato, tomato, tomato, that matters in court, right? I mean, but whatever, if they're going to say 15, either way, she might as well have been 11 because it was way too young. Yes, Joanne, it is my birthday. We're celebrating today. Yes, ma'am, it is. It's my birthday Saturday, but I won't be here. So that's what we're doing. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at her go. She said, happy birthday. Isn't it yes. Leo season baby. Let's go. All right, Steve Fisher, let's go.
By the owner of the property where David had been staying, right? This is near where the Tesla was reportedly found. So he's been investigating it from day one. We've had him on the show. Some drama with him in the courtroom today, right? What happened there?
Right.
That's right. Now, according to the prosecutor in this case, the deputy DA, Beth Silverman, apparently Steve Fisher violated grand jury secrecy. And because of that, she made a request this morning for him to be excluded from the witness list.
But you see the difference in perspectives on this? When we hear from Steve Fisher, it's like, yeah, she was just being a bitch. And then you hear from this reporter and it's very technical. And then you read an article and you don't even get the names. So it just gives you an idea of the coverage. And yes, Down the Rabbit Hole is freaking awesome. She bought the transcripts. Anybody that wants them can probably go to her and say, hey, can I throw in on the transcripts? They were very expensive. I'm not a transcript kind of person. If I get it, cool. But I just had too much to say to be reading documents, guys. So that's what Synth is for. When I need documents read, Synth is in the house. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. All right, let's hear. See, do you see what I was saying earlier about Steve Fisher? From there to now, he must be stress eating, guys. And then the girl that's reporting needs a sandwich. I still hadn't got her a sandwich from yesterday, but maybe we'll work on that for tomorrow. All right. Yeah. Grand jury secrecy. What would that be? We don't know. Let's find out.
He was in the courtroom. He was sitting right by me. He stood up, acknowledged that request. There wasn't any kind of pushback. There was no argument there and he walked out. So we're not going to hear from Steve Fisher in the courtroom as part of this preliminary hearing. But obviously, if this goes to trial, we do expect to hear from him. I know he's been on your show. I've heard those interviews. He has a lot of intel that I think is going to be critical to this case if it goes to trial. But right now, we are still in prelim. This is day 3. They just need to establish probable cause for this to move forward. So we are now on, I think, witness number 8 as this continues, and we're all expecting this to go through the.
Hey guys, I want you to know that they're through witness number 8, and I read to you guys yesterday. In total, they had 10 witnesses. So if that is the case, then it seems like tomorrow they're going to wrap this up. If nobody gets kicked out of court and nothing is delayed, we'll have time for 2 people, cross-exam, done, and then we find out, are they going to crawl to the prosecutor and say, we should look at we should do a deal? Or are they going to just say, you guys messed up the evidence. Let's go to trial. I'm going to find reasonable doubt. What's going to happen? I hope we find out tomorrow. I really want to find out. I ask you today, is there a plea deal in sight? Yeah, good night to whoever's out of here. She needs 20 cents.
Rest of today and likely even tomorrow, maybe on Monday as well.
Yeah. And look, Steve Fisher has provided, a really, really insightful information in this case, some of which has actually been backed up by what we saw by the prosecution's filing. It was not surprising considering what we heard from Steve. And he's been quite vocal about this case. He's been quite vocal about David. He's been quite vocal about the prosecution as well. So interesting development. Okay. Before we get to the witnesses, I always have to ask you, since we don't see it ourselves, it's the best we get are sketches from the courtroom artist. David, what's his demeanor like in court?
This is what I wait for this to find out, because I already know it's probably going to be just, he doesn't care. He likes watching the evidence. He has a dead stare, no kind of remorse. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Come on in. Come on in. We don't know about the death penalty, but listen, check this out. I think we are going to find out after all the witnesses and the preliminary hearing. They're going to see how they did. We've got legal analysts that between them and the attorneys and the prosecutor that's going to say, look at this versus this. Look at this versus this. Man, we got a freaking death penalty case for sure. But you got to remember, if you're doing a death penalty case, it brings a lot more. It's going to be a lot bigger trial. It's going to be harder to get jurors, right? It takes a lot more of a process. It's more money. And it's also, in this type of case, you would probably have to sequester the jury. So when the jury comes out, they're not going to be able to go out and stay the night at home and come back, because this case is way too big. All right. You want to go also? You should. Yeah, but think about that. So think about if they actually do put this as a death penalty case. It's going to take longer. It's going to cost a lot more. And the jury's there's no way the jury's going home at the end of the night. Stevens worked very hard to make sure Celeste gets justice. He was the one calling out. I know. That's the problem, Kalisa. That's why they don't like him. And my whole point was that each reporter reports on it a little bit different. I didn't know it was grand jury secrets. He just said that the prosecutor wasn't his fan, which rightfully so. If someone's calling me out, I don't think they're my fan either. All right, Jay, your eyes are closing. Good night. Thank you. Not to be rude. Not to be. No, hey, good night. Have a wonderful night, and thank you. Come back again. All right. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's go. I'm going to type that out.
Because the way we've been looking at it the past few days, for somebody who is, by all accounts, I mean, if you ask me my legal opinion, I think there's going to be enough here for this case to move to trial. For somebody whose life is on the line, for somebody who's facing murder and continuous sexual abuse of a minor charges and unlawful mutilation of human remains charges, the past few days, what we've seen, how it's been described, is somebody who seems kind of like nonchalant, pretty bored, kind of casual, doesn't seem to be too stressed out. Nope. Is that what he's looking like today?
Yeah, Jesse, and I can't get past that. I mean, imagine if you or somebody you knew were in that hot seat. I mean, I think you might care a little bit more. Let me tell you actually what the courtroom sketch artist said. I chatted with Mona Schaefer-Edwards during the court break about an hour ago, and I said to her, you know what, Mona, you've got the most interesting perspective in this courtroom in the sense that she's sitting facing the defendant. She's in the jury box area, so she gets to see his face, his expressions, and she's been sketching this for all of us who are using her art to cover this case. So she told me, Jesse, it looks to her like David is, quote, on another plane. He seems completely disengaged. I'm reading his facial expressions kind of from off to the side. I'm watching him from an angle. He's not reacting much. You know, it's a lot the same as yesterday, where he's kind of just staring straight ahead at the witness who's testifying, and then that overhead monitor that's projecting the exhibits. But no, he's really not reacting, and that includes when we see the victim's clothing. You know, her soiled, blood-stained, insect-infested, wet clothing that was found in the cadaver bags along with her remains. He's just staring straight ahead. He's got his arms folded. He's got this yellow legal notepad in front of him. It doesn't look to me like he's taking any notes. He's got a white styrofoam cup of water. I've counted maybe 2 or 3 interactions.
I mean, I really think he's just reliving his crimes, which many criminals do that, right? Many criminals, many people, if you're going to call them a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist, that's what they do. So it's not really a big deal. I mean, I'm sure he's desensitized from watching that, but I mean, you could be as desensitized as all get out and still not be able to look at the sight of blood. I'm talking about myself here, right? I'm a horror fan. I watch true crime all the time, but I cannot actually physically see somebody being cut up or blood or the maggots and I can't. I'll probably throw up or pass out. That's how bad it is. So he enjoys it, in my opinion, and I hope that he enjoys what he traded for it. He got to have complete and utter control of Celeste in life, and then afterwards, nobody else can have her, and now he does, right? So, man. All right, let's continue. I wish you could block him from seeing it.
Today where he's turned a little bit and kind of had, you know, a brief exchange of words with one of his attorneys. But other than that, he's not even moving, Jesse. It's really incredible.
But I'm not here to speculate, but I just have to ask, do you know if he's on any kind of medication or anything like that?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know, Jesse. And we're not going to speculate on this show, but that is a question that's come up in sidebar conversations. We don't know, and that hasn't come up in court.
Okay.
I imagine if he is, it will.
Okay, got it. All right, let's talk about the substance. So the first witness back on the stand was this criminalist, right? And being questioned by the defense. What happened there?
Wow.
So we ended yesterday with...
Yeah, this is great. I love how this turned out today. Such good reporters out there. Okay, so guys, we have 156 in chat. Hit the like button. We're still here for another 20 minutes or so, and we're giving away a book or two. I'm gonna gift a membership right now, because in order to win, you have to be a member. You just have to be in green and be in the United States so I can ship it to you. All right, what's wrong with these people? Jesus world. I know the Georgia Gazette. I don't even get me started on the new crimes that I've seen today, the ones that are happening. Isn't her one finger with the name? Yes, Jenny, John, and I showed that earlier. They showed it in court. As far when I say it, they showed pictures of her finger and his finger, and yes.
Cross-examination of an LAPD criminalist. She was the one who was called to process evidence found in David's garage. And that evidence included everything from trash bags to rubber floor mats to blood stains. She was the one who tested chainsaws found in David's house. This was just about a week after the car was found in the Hollywood tow yard with the victim's remains in the front trunk, of course. So they continued with that cross-examination, and there was a lot of back and forth about the chainsaws. And here's why. Defense attorney Blair Burke noted there was no positive test indicating the possibility of blood on those chainsaws. So she kept on asking this LAPD witness for the prosecution why they didn't take those chainsaws into evidence. It sounded like she wanted to make the point that touch DNA, which they didn't test for, may have indicated something else, may have painted a more comprehensive picture of what exactly happened and who may have been involved, who else may have been involved, that is. But the criminalist was very sharp, very clear with her answers. At one point yesterday, she even brought her notes back out to make sure that she gave precisely the information that was documented during this investigation. So she said there did not appear to be any kind of forensic value to those chainsaws that were found in a garage, and that's why they were not taken into evidence.
Again, we talked about that earlier. They're not going to take every piece of evidence, but it's definitely another set of eyes on the case and a different perspective. All right. I know. I think so too. Inquisitive P. I think so too. And they're going to live with regret for the rest of their lives. Hey, on Cloud 99. Good to see you.
So my big takeaway from all of this is that perhaps those were not the weapons or tools used for dismemberment, even though they were found in David's garage during this search.
Let me just clarify this point, just so it's clear for our audience. I heard there was reporting, maybe even testimony, about a missing chainsaw. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah.
And what about any evidence of a cleanup, including of the chainsaws? Correct me if I'm wrong about either of those points.
Correct on the first point. There was another chainsaw, a Makita brand chainsaw that we talked about the other day that was ordered online and delivered to David's house. As far as I know, from the evidence presented so far, that chainsaw was not located during this search.
And, you know, now that we realize that he went down there 3 separate times, guys, he probably dumped that chainsaw. I mean, I just can't imagine him keeping it. All right. Maybe they'll find it. Maybe they won't. Maybe he threw it in the ocean. I know people are saying a lot of things, but hey, I love her reporting. So yes, she's skinny mini.
The 2 other chainsaws, and here's why the criminalist said there really was no forensic value. She testified earlier that had they been used for dismemberment, there would have been no way for blood to be cleaned up to the point where their testing did not indicate something of forensic value.
I believe he used multiple weapons. I'm going to go a little past this because we talked about the forensic value. Why couldn't he just have somebody that was of age?
Prosecution is painting a picture of here is wipes used to clean up blood. And those wipes, according to this witness's testimony, did in fact test positive for the possible presence of blood. There's a question mark on a lot of this. You know, it cannot be stated that it was positively identified as blood. That does require additional testing. But I think what this witness stated on the stand yesterday and today goes to show that there was plenty of biological evidence found during that.
That's what I'm saying. If they don't have one thing, there's 10 more things that they have with DNA evidence. So, hey, whatever, they can find it or not. I do think that he used multiple weapons, guys. I think that he fantasized about dismembering Celeste, and that's why it took him so long, and that's why he thought about it. He went on his tour, did his interviews, went all over, and then he took the time to dismember her and buy all these things because I think he really fantasized about it and wanted to do that for a long time, had been thinking about it. Not only that, we see the things that he was doing with his books, the graphic novel, taking out an eye, cutting a finger. He was just fascinated with that. Characteristics wife dismembered as Celeste and the removal of left pinky and ring finger. I know.
Search in David's garage.
Now, here's something interesting. Somebody will listen to this and say, really? So we are not 100% sure what was maybe used to dismember her body. I don't believe we have the alleged murder weapon. This feels like problems for the prosecution. However, I read your notes today. There was a very important back and forth, a very important piece of testimony regarding this blue inflatable pool and how this potential purchase by David of this pool, how it matches up to what was found with
guys, like a puzzle. That's what he's going to talk about right now. It literally fit into a puzzle. Angela, you missed the timeline part. There's a whole new timeline that shows that David went back out to that area, Santa Barbara area on 152 3 times. All right. They also said the wipes with the blood had his DNA and 2 other. Yeah, let's listen to that. I'll stop
Celeste
talking.
remains. Can you talk to us about that testimony today?
This, Jesse, is visibly, to me, a non-expert, irrefutable. We heard from another criminalist from the LAPD. Yep. She did the actual forensic analysis of the inflatable pool. In addition to material that was sent to her by the LA County Medical Examiner's Office that was collected during the victim's autopsy. Now, that includes, I mentioned her soiled clothing, and bits of blue plastic found during the autopsy that were essentially embedded in her remains. So this criminalist actually pieced those bits of blue plastic in
like a puzzle. I'll move forward. I know you guys didn't come here to listen to her. And Christina, welcome to the Crime Crew official. Thank you. Sorry, Angela. When she said she'll expose him, I agree. The devil showed his face. Yes.
The remains, as they're talking about the last clothes worn by Celeste. Her family was there today, right? Her family was there today listening to all this. What was their reaction to it?
Wow, Jesse, I can't believe they're back in the courtroom today. You know, they sat through all of day 1 of this preliminary hearing, all of day 2. They walked in a little bit later this morning. They didn't show up until about 10:30, but they did catch all of this testimony from Lisa Lehendro. They did sit in the courtroom and see these exhibits, these photos of what their daughter was wearing when her remains were found. They did see the little bits of hair and plastic that were collected during her autopsy and how those bits of plastic fit with damage from this blue inflatable pool. I didn't see any kind of visible physical reaction. You know, on day 1, Mercedes, the victim's mother, she bowed her head and just started crying. When
I can't believe they're watching this and sitting through it. I mean, oh, I don't even want to think about that. Let's continue. We talked about the pool fitting, the evidence. I just want to see our perspective, and we're about to give away a book. All right, cell tower stuff. Let's take a look at that real quick. I hadn't seen the visual of what they drew, so let me hear it real quick.
But David's cell phone data. So we're actually seeing maps right now where this expert is pinpointing where the vehicle, according to data they analyzed, traveled from the Hollywood Hills west along Sunset Boulevard and then north up the coast into Santa Barbara County. He's testifying how the path of that Tesla, again, according to his analysis of data, matches the path of David's iPhone. Same time, same day, same location. And he's testifying how that matches up with where Celeste's passport card was later found, right by Lake Consumer.
You can't dispute that. You can't dispute that evidence. We went over the dates earlier. Are you talking about when he traveled back there, or so we did the dates earlier, and that was part of the timeline that also showed what you're asking. So I don't want to go back to it again, but if you go back, this is all late April last year, but there's a more specific one in the timeline. I just don't want to make you guys go over it. We're at 2 hours and 32 minutes. And we're still doing a giveaway. So, yeah, there you go. Late April last year, 3 times body was found in September. Yes.
Off of State Road 154 in Santa Barbara County. Now, this is interesting, too. This has come up before in charging documents, but he's testifying both the vehicle data and the phone data show additional trips up there after that first road trip on April 24th of 2025. And that's, of course, the morning after or overnight going into.
Okay, so listen up. If you just asked about the timeline, she's telling it to you. I've showed it to you visually twice now. So I'm more visual timeline person, but she's telling you right now when that happened. We didn't know about these other 2 trips. We only knew about one.
The morning after the victim was allegedly killed.
Let me ask you a big picture question as I'm hearing this testimony from today and the last few days. seems that a lot of the focus has been so far on the alleged cleanup, the dismemberment, the cleanup, trying to get rid of the evidence of this alleged killing. One of the questions I've been getting from legal analysts is, what has been the evidence that he actually murdered her? And what do I mean by that? The evidence that he actually killed her, that he stabbed her to death, and that he murdered her, right? Not that this was a case of manslaughter, not that this was a case of self-defense. So far in this preliminary hearing, what has stood out to you as the evidence that he murdered her?
None. There has not been any.
Not yet.
This is
Just
circumstantial
not
evidence.
yet.
And what you pointed out the other day, Jesse, is that many of these incriminating Amazon and Home Depot purchases that were made online under a fake.
All right, just a 2-second breakdown. Donna Clark. The reason the SF got kicked out is because he was a secret grand jury witness. That's the number one reason. Number two, Beth Silverman doesn't like him. He says awful shit about her. He's been getting a lot of the information first because he's a private eye and he was out there. And third, she saw him talk to the family members and she thought they had a conversation. You can't have a conversation as a witness with those witnesses. So hopefully that cleared it up right for you. Aye.
Name for items like burn cages, fireproof mats, chainsaws, body bags, trash bags. They were not made until after April 23rd, again, the day of her alleged murder. So we haven't seen anything like home security video showing the actual killing. We have not heard from any witnesses who testified about being there and actually seeing this go down. We've heard a lot about why he may have done it, right, for financial gain.
Now, this is how he looks in court, by the way. This is how I imagine he looks in court. They keep drawing him and explaining what he looks like right there. That's it. He looks bored. He looks like he's high on something or uber tired. That's him with Robert Morgenroth, which is his manager, which I believe knows a lot more. He was there for a lot of those things.
We've heard a lot about cleanup and cover-up efforts, including this road trip that is supported by data from both the car and the phone, but evidence about the murder itself and how it was carried out. Where I think we're all waiting to see where that goes and what additional intel the prosecution has.
Well, here's the way I would look at it. I'm curious if the medical examiner is going to testify today or tomorrow. And if the medical examiner testifies, or people from the medical examiner staff testify that she died from 2 penetrating wounds. So now you're saying, okay, she was killed. If they also match that up with text messages, which we haven't heard from yet, as far as I know, right? Messages between David and Celeste leading up to this night in April. They can show they were fighting. If they can show she was going to expose him, and then he lures her there, gets her an Uber, and that there's no more activity from her cell phone after that night in April. He doesn't reach out to her, although I understand today there was a test. There was evidence today about him about that phone call. So talk about that,
guys. That I'm waiting for that, and I don't know if they're all going to come out, but that's an easy. That is such an easy. How about going to the schools? It's such an easy thing to track, and I can't understand it. They literally have the driver that picked up Celeste from her house, dropped her off at David's to testify that she went to David's that night and then she was killed. Good night, Michael. I'm glad you made it today. Have a good one. Pretty Glitch, welcome to my channel. All right, welcome to my channel. That's what I do. I take these 1,000-foot blah, 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 word salads, and I condense it for you to sum it up in like 15 seconds or less. Most comprehensive coverage. Hey, that's what you guys say. My pastor, it's a birthday celebration. You made it. I did, and I got my nose pierced back again too. You're like the only person that noticed that. This piercing, and this. Yes. Mrs. Guilty said, "Oh, I thought you already had that pierce." Oh, that's how much we see each other.
But I think that's what we're looking for next. Maybe they started with the relationship, they started with the cover-up, and then they may move into the actual killing. Because look, at the end of the day, if they're saying, she went to his place, there's all this evidence of potentially dismemberment there, what else do you think happened? Although, this is this a slam dunk or not? So that's my thought. You can jump, you tell me what you think about it if you're hearing rumors of who else may testify. But the call, I think, was interesting today too, right? This alleged call that he made to Celeste.
That was interesting, and defense attorneys actually jumped in to object during that portion of testimony. It was sustained because they wanted to make sure the court record stated that, the LAPD detective isn't testifying that David,
By the way, I was going to show you the new pictures today, but they're showing them right now. So right after this, I'm going to, we're going to give away a book. All right. Thank you. Also welcome here. You definitely are welcome here. Pretty glitchy. Anytime. Come back. Doesn't matter what the topic is. Just come on over and hang out with us. My schedule is right there below, and I appreciate that. Jenny John noticed it. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, I'm not too old for piercings. You can't even wear like gold or silver. Oh my God. Look at who's here. Thank you, Inquisitive P. Flojo's in the house. Flojo, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for all you do, man.
defendant made a call. They wanted to make sure the court record stated his phone made that outgoing call, but that call was placed about half an hour to an hour after the Tesla got on the road heading north towards Santa Barbara County. So again, that speaks to the alleged cleanup and cover-up efforts. If he did in fact murder this girl, and if he was in fact on the way up to Lake Kachuma to dump evidence, why in the world would he call her phone? Of course, she's not going to pick up. She's dead in his house. So again, part of the cover-up, part of the alleged cover-up, we did hear chatter about the LA County medical examiner potentially testifying today. That has not happened yet. I'm curious to see if that happens, and I'm very curious to hear from him. It's Dr. Ode Ukpo. And what's significant here is that after the autopsy was conducted last fall, LAPD actually filed a motion. They initiated this motion to place additional details from this autopsy under seal, essentially gagging the coroner, the medical examiner leading this case. He did make a statement before that about the state of decomposition and the fact that the victim must have been in that car for quite some time. Beyond that, beyond the report.
Guys, she was a baby. Did you see that picture? She was a baby. You're welcome, Denise. You guys keep coming back as the channel grows. This is awesome. We're going to have more outreach, more people, more potential to get people on to collaborate. Just the whole deal. I'm excited. Those of you like Sadie's mama that's been here since day one, you know how much things have grown on this channel, right? And Pretty Glitchy, nice to meet you, Mika. All right, Mika, nice to meet you. My name's Jay, and I'm your host of Guilty of Crime. We also have a new system going on with my girl Tiff, and she helps me bring all of the cases in. So if you guys have a case that you really want to get attention, hit up my girl Tiff. She has a big Facebook following, and she has an email, guiltyofprizes.merch@gmail.com. Anyway, we've expanded. We've grown a lot in the last 2 years. The newscaster reminds me of an avatar. I do not want a septum piercing. Mrs. Guilty has that. And it's always sensitive. No. I'm good. But thank you. Thank you for being a member for 11 months. Come on, baby. Thank you. All right, let's continue. We're almost done here. We're going to give away a book.
That was issued. We have not heard from the medical examiner yet, so a lot of questions for him. We have heard that may happen today, but we're going to hear from at least 2 additional witnesses. So we'll see who the prosecution decides to call to the stand.
Julia, there was something that we haven't even talked about yet. And by the way, what I'm about to get into is something that has been speculated about where the defense may go. How do you explain these unusual purchases? How do you explain the potential of what appears to be brown stains or blood in the home?
Okay, this is the only thing that I did not hear yet today, and I didn't play. So let's talk about the blood stains, and then we're going to give away a book. There's so much evidence, all right? And you have a hoop in your butt. You have a hoop in yours, and it's... I have too many. I'm good. I don't want to do that. I've got 2 piercings, and I got 5 piercings in my face. And no room for tattoos, guys. In your septum. Yeah, Sadie's mama, big hug to you. And Colleen, you know we love you. All right, let's talk about the blood stains, and then we're gonna do that. Welcome to all the new people here. Welcome to all the people that have been here. Thank you all for all you do. And thank you for becoming a new member. Anybody that has, get your membership now because you got to have that to win.
What we're about to talk about happened today. You even highlighted in your notes. This is a new piece of information. Yeah. This seems to be where the defense is saying there could be some sort of alternative explanation. So, Julia, what happened today? What was the defense trying to suggest?
If you've been following this case online, you've probably seen clips of David's music videos, especially the ones where he's dressed in a white t-shirt with fake bloodstains. So this came up today in court, and it was the first time I've heard it during this preliminary hearing. Apparently, one of the LAPD criminalists found jugs and jars of fake blood in David's garage. Now, they didn't get into, how much of it was there, but the defense did state that there was some merchandising activity going on in David's garage, meaning they were making music merch, and that could have been, t-shirts and sweatshirts stained with fake blood. So does that explain all the evidence that was documented and collected? No, absolutely not. But it does explain the fake blood. And how did they know it was fake?
Guys, bottom line, there's a shit ton of evidence, and tomorrow the court is going to allegedly get into what happened on that fatal day that Celeste went to David's. Hopefully we start seeing text messages. We get to hear about the back and forth. I think when we start listening to text messages, guys, it's gonna punch David right in the gut. When we're talking about when we start talking about David and listening and reading his text messages, when Celeste says, hey, I don't want to just, all we do is hang out and have sex, and all of those really personal things, up until the time that Celeste literally said, I'm gonna tell on you if you leave, if we break up, whatever it was that she said specifically, that she was gonna tell on him and ruin his career. That's gonna be a gut punch. He's not gonna want to hear people reading his private text messages and the things that he's done, right? He's a monster, and he doesn't want that to come to light. The Georgia Gazette says I have 8 facial piercings. Well, how old are you, the Georgia Gazette, if you don't mind? I know, me too. He's easy to hate, and you know what? It makes me even more upset is that he took Celeste's life, but not only did he take her life, he really tortured. In my opinion, he abused her from 11 until the time she died. 40. Okay, we're good. We're on the same page there. Oh my goodness, cuckoo, let me stop. No, but you can ask. All right, bloodstains. Hold on. Sorry. I was looking at the pictures. And shout out to Flojo. I didn't even get to, I don't know if I said hi to him. Thank you for dropping the link when he came in. Let me back up just for a second. Right there.
Tested. It came back negative. It was not taken into evidence. But I think the presence of that in David's garage does set up, a new narrative for the defense to potentially seize.
Yeah, I was always wondering, are they going to say, oh, this was for a music video, right? We've heard this, all this for a music video. So this is a complicating factor. Even if this case moves forward to trial, you're wondering if they're going to have some room for reasonable doubt. Look, interesting things are happening. Your reporting has been great. I know you have to jump back into that courtroom.
Thank you.
Julie Dang, thank you so much.
I think that they do believe that there's room for reasonable doubt, guys, and that's what they're going for. But again, we still have tomorrow. Is a plea deal in sight? Do your homework. How old will you be when your birthday comes? My birthday is Saturday, and I'll be 47. Yes, I said 47. Earlier I said 30, but shout out, Flojo. Shout out to you for being there. Shout out to you for posting stuff. I've been collecting the shit. I've been collecting the evidence all day from all different. So I work, and then I see stuff, and then I write it down. So yeah, but thank you. Thank you for going out there. We're never too old. It was never a phase. No, it's never a phase. It was never a phase. All right. Yeah, we're going to find that out hopefully tomorrow. Thank you, the Georgia Gazette. Yeah, I'll be 47 on Saturday. So I'm 46 right now. 3 years till I'm 50. No. All right, now we're going to give stuff away. Let's go. All right, guys, get your likes in, drop a comment, put you in there. I got stuff to do, so we're already almost on 3 hours. So we're going to do this and then we'll be out. I know. I don't know about her parents, but they're going to live with that forever. So thank you, Inquisitive B, 54 on Monday. Woot, woot. Kittens in Crime. All right, let's go. You guys drop the comment, Laughing Disco. Let's get this on there. I do like the thumbnail today. You see the thumbnail, Flojo? That perfectly depicts David right there. All right, guys, I'm about to spin. I was just giving you guys a little bit of time to get in there. All right, let's go. There's Flojo. He says, I love it. And go. Right? It depicts David very well. I'm spinning. Oh my goodness. Kittens in Crime. See, I told you guys, when you guys come in and you guys say something or drop a comment, Kittens in Crime just did that. All right. So this one's me. You guys have to go to, you have to email me at this one. Hold on. Right there. Kittens in Crime. You're fairly new here, I think, unless you changed your name. So look at my email below and email me so you can get your copy. I'm going to give out one more. I've got 2 left, guys. And, well, I'm feeling generous. It's my birthday. All right. You guys can buy these on Amazon and you get free shipping and all that fun stuff. So, congratulations, Kittens in Crime. Don't forget to email me. You've got to claim that by next week. Tasha, welcome to new to your channel. I just subbed. Any friend of Rabbits is a friend of mine. Well, thank you, Tasha. You're very welcome. Come on in. Make sure that you subscribe. Did you see you won Kittens in Crime? All you got to do is email me. I'm going to give away one more book right now. And Lamara, am I saying that? Lamara, hello from New Hampshire. You're a member for 15 months. Well, thank you for coming out of the bushes. I did not know that. All right, let's go. 47, baby. Happy birthday. All right, one more. And then we've been here for 3 hours. I gotta go. I need to go watch Toxic Love on Netflix while I pack. Hold on, I gotta redo this. Hold on real quick. Pack and watch True Crime. I think it just came out yesterday, guys. Toxic Love on Netflix. Go watch it. All right, one more. You gotta be in green and you gotta be. Look at what that's rigged. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Let me completely refresh this. You see what happened? All right, let's completely redo this. That's why when I spin the wheel, sometimes I'm like, it's rigged. All right, we got to do it all over, my friends. Let me come here, grab this link. All right. Day 3. Look at the evil clown. And let's go. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. It's 111 reasons why I'm gay. Literally. All right, Colleen, you do not, unfortunately, are not in the green. So I got to move forward. Much love to you. Hopefully we get you there. But guys, stay here. I'm doing it right now. I'm about to give it away another one. This is she's not a crime crew member. She's a member, but she's not an official crime crew. So and one more time, guys. Let's one more time. Not Instagram. We got YouTube. Let me go grab that again. Go and here we go. More. All right, there we go. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Pretty Glitch. All right, Jinxie. Is Jinx? Did I ask the book? Oh, okay. You meant the show? It's true crime all the time. True crime all the time. All right, Jinx, where'd you go, Jinxie? Jinx. All right, Jinx said, as you should enjoy your birthday. And I know I didn't pick you because Jinx, but if Jinx isn't here, come on, Jinxie. There you are. Yes, you. All right, are you in the United States? And do you even want my book? Reason 111 Why I'm Gay. I know you want that book. I want to get it to you, Colleen, but you're not a member. Okay, Jinxie. Jinx. Guilty of crime by j@gmail.com. You guys, if you won the book, then you've got to reach out to me by next week. Give me your address and I will sign and ship your book. All right, Cheeky, thank you so much. Jinx, Kittens in Crime, congratulations. Oh, Pretty Glitch, it's Netflix. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Toxic Love. It's a true story about toxic love, and I believe the lady that got, I think the lady she was actually the victim that got blamed for being the perpetrator. So yeah, go check out Netflix, and it's called Toxic Love. You got the book? Go email me. All right, guys, I am out of here. I've got the emails below, my friend Jinx. You see right there, it's going to scroll by. It's guilty of crime by j@gmail.com. I guess I can drop it real quick. It's rolling by. gmail.com. And my contact information is pretty easy. Yes, go check it out. It's new. It just came out. There you go, Jinx. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for all the support. I will be back next week. Same time, same place, right here. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern. Good night, guys. Love ya. Yes, thank you, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you, and thanks for getting us to the goal. You're welcome. So welcome. Thank you, guys. Love you. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?